And we are ready. Yo, 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 yo. We're good. We're here. What up? What up? Hello. Hello. We're here. We're ready. It's going to be a good old stream. It's going to be a good stream. What's up, Justin? What's up, man? Appreciate you. Hope you're doing well. John Dog, what's up, buddy? Hope you're doing well. I don't know what that means. I guess be good. I think I don't know what the fuck that means. Is that a reference to the fucking Bobby Green thing? Which I don't. Yeah. What's up, man? Hope you're doing well. Oh yeah, I'm definitely using this fucking thing. How do you think Costa with Ankalaev does? Well, Costa makes Ankalaev work, and I think Paulo Costa beats the brakes off of Ankalaev. I don't think it's going to be like a finish. I don't think he actually dominates. I hope he does. Ankalaev makes that fight at least decent. I think Paulo Costa beats Ankalaev. Hint: Dustin Poirier. Oh, okay. Jan is really a big step up for Navajo, so I worry about Nav. I mean, not maybe on paper. Maybe on paper. I don't think Jan's very good. He's 43 years old, very slow, has very bad output. You know, Bogdan made a huge mistake in that fight. He was winning, hurt him real bad in the second, and then he crashed in too heavy in the third round, got caught, got dropped against the cage. I think Navajo is too smart to play that game against the cage. I think he's always going to be in the open, and if they're in space, I think Navajo is going to do a lot better. Even if it's not a great fight, I think stylistically and points wise, I think Navajo beats him up. At least that's what I'm hoping for. Oh, who do you? Hi, honey, love you. Who do you think has the best chance of beating Cyril Gahn right now between Hackett, Aspinall, and Volter? Volter has the best chance to beat Hackett or Aspinall for sure. I don't know. Yeah, D Rod is about to get destroyed badly. I don't. I can see an avenue where it gets later in the fight and D Rod finds the shot, but I have a hard time picking D Rod straight out to win. Betting wise, because I know a lot of people do stuff like that. Is I understand putting money on D Rod because he does have power. You know, Medic obviously has been finished before, so I definitely understand both sides of it. Do you also follow PFL? Yeah, some of it. Yeah. Navo's durability and condition is not trustable. His durability, he's very durable. I don't. What do you mean he's not durable? I mean he's never been dropped. He hasn't really been hurt. Also, his cardio looked incredible against Ion Cutelaba. He was just making weird decisions. But also in the end, he was the one implementing the grappling. He's not a grappler, and he still ended up on top beating him. He fought Eon, even though I don't agree. He fought Eon, like agree with what he did. He fought Eon in the way that Eon could have beaten him. So he took away his best weapon and beat him at it. I got to give him that. And Navajo's best win is Cutelaba. Yeah. What is it? Yo, Juice Man, what's up, buddy? What's up, man? They apparently re-signed Robulus. Yes, they do. What do you think they're going to do with him? I think they're going to give him to build Gable. I think he absolutely mauls Gable unless Gable grapples. It's interesting because I think he beats a lot of guys. Maybe besides like Gon because of the grappling and the speed. I think he gives a lot of people a really hard time. John Dog, what do you think on the card yesterday? Guys, double tap the like the stream. Appreciate you, Denise. Yes, smash that like button. Become a member for as low as $2.99. Really appreciate you guys so much. Subscribe. We are 10 subs away from smacking 6,000 subscribers. Unbelievable. Yeah, the main event was awful. And I don't want to hear it's not because of Ankalaev. It's because of Guskov. Guskov didn't help himself, obviously. Ankalaev is one of the most boring fighters on the roster. About as boring as Corey Sandhagen, but at least Corey is throwing a little bit more. At least he's throwing. Ugh. Appreciate you, Juice. Diego Lopez, Yair Rodriguez is being discussed to be main event. I hate it being a main event. It 100% should not be over Van or Pantoja. That's ridiculous. But it's a very, very good fight. I don't agree with it being up, though, at all. Not even a little bit. Walter Walker's legit. He's awesome. Why didn't you pick Tafik Masiev? I mean, Ludovic Klein is really, really good, very strong, and where Tapik is good is his grappling, and Klein's the stronger fighter. Um, I don't like him because, for one, I thought he cheated against Bahamondes, so I might just be biased on that aspect. He did get dropped by him as well. I just think the styles wise, I think Ludovic Klein's going to be better on the feet, but also really strong on the ground. What's up, dog? How's life going? It's all right, man. And the wife and kids are doing good. Yeah, the wife and kids are doing great. Life's an adjustment at this point, but yeah, they're doing good. What are your thoughts on Quillen Salkilid and Magomed, aka Chanko, the potential future lightweight champion contenders? Chandon said hi to Tapori after fight, so there's definitely tension. Yeah, he did. Chanko, I thought looked pretty good. The guy that he fought, I think is actually going to be pretty. Is going to be something pretty decent. I didn't think he was a washed guy or not a good guy. I thought 10-0. I thought he was a very tough test. People are like pillow fist Chanko, dude. He hit him with everything possible. The guy just didn't go down. Credit to, I think his name's Damien. Credit to him, or Damon, whatever it was. Um, yeah, I thought he looked good. Quinlan South killed. He was dropped by Benny. I'm not 100% sold on him. I think we're going to get a lot of questions answered with Gamrot. But the problem with Gamrot is he is a little droppable at times. So I need him to get a little bit higher before I really know what to think about him. Fun fighter though. I hate it when people say MMA fans don't like Ink because he's Muslim. When fans find Pat Sabatini boring and he's obviously not Muslim, yeah, it's crazy. See, I'm sorry, this might be a hot take. I think Pat Sabatini is more exciting than Ankalaev. At least when he fights, he knows what he's doing and he gets to what he's doing. Ankalaev is waiting. I'm sorry, but the wrestling was there. The head kicks are there. The front kicks are there. I mean, he's doing nothing. We can all talk about that. Guskov is backing away and he's not engaging. Fine. Guess who's not cutting him off? Ankalaev. He's following him, which is allowing Guskov to run and burn minutes off the clock. Van Pantoja is the numbered card. Oh, okay. Van versus Pantoja rematch is so exciting. It's incredible. No Shave is a fight night. Okay. My bad. I had seen something a little bit ago that it had Lopez and Oliveira, and below was Van Pantoja. So that's my fault. I'm going to give you my most controversial hot take, and I'll tell me if it's totally stupid or tell me if you think it makes sense. I'm good with that. Okay, my hot take is I think Joshua Van would beat Petr Yan. I don't think you're stupid, and I think that's a crazy thing to say, but I disagree. And the reason why I disagree is I think Petr Yan is way more well rounded than Joshua Van. Even if Van has a little bit more power and he's a little bit of a better boxer, I think Petr Yan has better speed and he's more well rounded. Like he uses his grappling very well if he needs to, but he also strikes to grapple and grapples to strike. I think he mixes in that stuff a little bit better than Joshua Van. I also think Petr Yan goes to the body a little bit better than Joshua Van, but that would be an incredible fight. Like that to me would have been T.J. Dillashaw, Mighty Mouse. That's an incredible fight. What do you do? What do I do when I don't fit? Okay, I watched the first two episodes of Tough with DC Bisbing, and it's actually good. Yeah, it's pretty good. Bisbing is an awful coach, terrible head coach. Obviously, he means well. He tries to coach, terrible coach. DC's an incredible coach, sore loser for sure. Incredible coach though. I feel like Rakic can beat Tybora. Yeah, because Tybora is 41 years old. And he's a little chinny, even though Rakic is awful. Bro, did Chanko call out Ilya? That's a bad idea when he would get murdered. I agree 100%. It's not about religious. We're all the same. But I mean, Ankalaev was so boring in the last time. He's always boring. The only time he's not boring is like Marcin Prachnio, Dolce. Even the Pereira fight, the first one wasn't very exciting, even a little bit. Rakic one was okay because Rakic was actually throwing. It was actually both guys, but it was making Ankalaev throw as well. So like it takes two to tango, but there's also things that Ankalaev could have done to make Guskov work, and he just wasn't doing it. Petr Yan destroys Van. Nah, bro, Van would honestly beat him. Okay. Petr Yan beats Van, in my opinion. I don't know. It would be awesome. Yeah, so what? Which one should you pick? MMA Pantoja versus Van. Max Holloway versus Conor McGregor 2. Which one should you pick? Pantoja Van 1. Oh, Pantoja Van 1. Billion%. Um, in that in that Magomed thinks he will get a title shot after that boring ass performance. He, as I put in my title of this stream, does not deserve a title shot. That is a bullshit win. Never let you go. Never let you go. Never let you down. Okay. And Meg Rizvan and Kuniev versus Josh Hockett. Kuniev is fun. Like he may never be champion. Fine. He's a really fun fighter. Yeah, spot on. Although DC is a sore loser, but I like the show. Yeah, this season's been really good. Again, he is an incredible coach. Game plan wise, everything like that, incredible. He's not a good loser. He's just not. As much as it hates me to say it, when Pereira gone on is the best fighter in the division. See, I disagree. I still think Yuri's the best in that division, a billion%. Even though he lost to Oberg, we seen who was better in that matchup until he got caught. I don't think becoming a champion and not really defending your title. I don't think you can say you're the best in the division. I would choose Roundtree over him. Roundtree would have made him fight more. Correct, 100% correct. Like Ink was gun shy against Guskov. Why would you be so gun shy to throw against Guskov? He should be put him to sleep round one. Exactly. And also, he was following him. He wasn't cutting off the octagon and be like, he's not fighting. Well, yeah, you're not making him fight. Rick rolled, okay. Yuri would beat Oberg in a rematch. Correct. Kuniev does amazing once he backs you against the cage. Those knees are disgusting. Well, he did those knees in the middle of the octagon and then got him to back up. Horse, what's up, buddy? Again, if you guys can, slap that like button, subscribe to the channel, all those good things. Super chats are always welcome. Helps out the channel so much. Is there any possible of Hamza ever Strickland 2, or is it Imavov turn for the title? I don't know if Imavov wants the shot. He keeps talking like he wants to fight DDP. I don't know what his deal is. I think it should be Imavov. I don't think Dreykus necessarily could get that shot because he beat Usman. But I would understand it because he has 2 wins over the champion. But I mean, Hamzat's talking shit to Strickland, but he's also saying he's going to 205. He has to pick his lane and stay in it. Whoever that dude Cunha fought is terrible, but he actually has pretty good right hand. Oh, Tyrell Fortune. It's crazy because I think he was 8-0 at one point, maybe 6. I can't remember. He was undefeated for a minute, and then Tim Johnson knocked him out against the cage, and he's lost it 2 times since then. But very good athlete. The problem I had in that fight with Kuniev is Tyrell gets tired, and I thought against Kuniev that's going to be a problem. He was going to be a problem early and then gas out. Kuniev just kind of kept control the whole time. This guy on TikTok actually believes Tommy McMillan is champion material. I never laughed so hard in my life. It's a lot of fuck him up in heavyweight. Yeah, featherweight. Three names that come in my mind: Kevin Vallejos, Luke, Lyron Douglas. Correct. Strickland would destroy Imavov in a rematch. I disagree. I disagree because that if you watch that fight, if you remember, it was a short notice for somebody. There's an argument that Imavov won that fight. That Strickland should not have won. Or is that the Cannonier fight? I can't remember. One of those were really close. No, I think Imavov is a better fighter now than when they fought the first time. I think Imavov's speed and power would be a big problem for Strickland. Kuniev is also arguably the biggest fighter in the UFC right now. That's not totally a beast. Yeah, it's weird. He carries that weight weird. He does not look like a 265.5 pound heavyweight. He just does not. Tommy McMillan is good. Just let him mature. No need to throw him to the wolves. The problem is with his popularity and with his style, he's going to get thrown to the wolves. You're thinking of Cannonier fight. Okay, Brian. Okay, thank you. Tommy is just going to be a fun action fighter for the UFC. He's not winning a belt. You see, and that's the problem I have to him with picking him against guys like, I didn't know him and Alberto Montez in the back, or I think on Instagram, made a deal where Montez was never going to shoot. He was only going to strike with him. I didn't know that going into the fight, obviously. So that's a big problem. That's a huge problem because Montez is not a natural striker. He is a grappler. That's what he is. And he was still able to drop him. But that's the issue I have with Tommy is how can I root for him when I know his style doesn't last? It doesn't work to be a champion. Strickland won Mavav fight pretty clearly. Imavov fight? Okay. I think one of those still was on short notice, though, that he took to Imavov. Yeah, because I think Strickland lost to somebody, and then he fought Imavov. Do you think Kamaru Usman should retire? Dana White said that indirectly that he should retire. I think UFC is done with Usman. Well, I think there's still winnable fights. Like I think Usman runs over Brendan Allen. So I think there's still winnable fights for Usman. If he wants to go on a run, I do think there's a path to a shot at like a number one contenders. Maybe he doesn't win that, but there's a shot up there with that division and his name. And again, there's winnable fights for him, like Jared Cannonier, Brendan Allen. There is some winnable ones. Um, but he's going to have to go on a run. And I don't know at 39 if he wants to do that. Jan Navajo is better main event than Euros Medic. I 100% disagree. I think Medic and Rodriguez is going to be way more entertaining than Jan Navajo. When's the last time Jan was in an exciting fight? When's the last time Jan has gotten a finish? Corey Anderson? You know what I mean? I feel the same way about John Pork. Super fun to watch, but I don't think he'll be champion level. Yeah, he hasn't shown that grappling yet. I think that's the thing with him. He's shown the striking, he's shown all that stuff, but we haven't seen his grappling. If he becomes a little bit more well rounded, then he could be. Chonko's legit, but he is beatable. Yep. It's okay for Tommy to not want a belt. We need guys like him who are action fighters no matter what. Sure, but if you're not going to want a belt, what's the point? I guess to win a lot of money, that's fine. I'm cool with that. But at some point, you have to have an objective. Otherwise, it's a certain number of money or it's a title. You know what I mean? Do you think Conor McGregor should return or retire? I think he should have fought the first time, to be honest. Who should Zhang Mingyang fight next? So he fights Alonzo, having had moments in that, but brawled with him, which he should never have done, and gets caught, dropped, finished, whatever. Loses to him, loses to Johnny Walker. I guess you could give him Robert Whitaker, but Robert's coming off of a win. It's a tough one for sure. It's such a tough one too. The first one that comes to my mind is Whitaker. I think Izzy has a better chance of going on a run than Usman. I mean, that's fair because Izzy's looked good even in his losses, but I just think there's easier wins for Usman than there is for Izzy. Parnesi, future title contender, 1,000%. Unless he comes in and gets away from his style, yes, he will be a champion. I believe Usman Cannonier should be next booked for MSG. See, there you go. Every fighter's target should be belt. Exactly. Who do you think will win Pantoja, Joshua Van? Pantoja. I thought Pantoja was going to win the first time. Mason, what's up, buddy? Maybe they are Barneski. There you go. You could do that one too. I got Van personally. Okay. I see watching Taira fight Joshua Van. I even more believe Pantoja schools Joshua Van. I like Joshua Van, but I just think with Pantoja's style, with his grappling style, Taira was able to do a lot of good work on the ground. Control wise, Van did a good job getting up, but you're not getting up like that against Pantoja. What you take on Gable Stevenson, next potential light heavyweight? He's definitely getting guidance from John Jones. I don't care about the training with John Jones. I think John Jones himself is the greatest of all time. It doesn't mean who he trains is going to be the greatest of all time or anywhere near that. I don't really have any thoughts because Gable looked how I thought he was going to look against Ellison or whatever. Alicia Ellison, I think his name is. I don't really have any thoughts on him. How far from you am I from Maryville, Indiana? 40 minutes. In Walnut Creek, California, 55 degrees. Oh, yeah. Joshua Van is good, but so overrated right now. Fair enough. Anthony Joshua beats top 5 heavyweights? No. No. Taira is objectively a better grappler than Pantoja, and I think Pantoja leaves himself very open in the boxing combinations on the feet. I mean, who's caught him? He's barely been dropped. He has an incredible chin. Who's dropped him? One fighter, and that's Davidson Figueiredo. That's it. And Taira is not a better grappler. Look at Pantoja. We can talk about submissions, fine, but Pantoja's done better with his grappling as of like control, and that's what I'm talking about. Like Taira had a lot of he got to mount multiple times, had all these opportunities. If Pantoja gets those positions, I think he just does better than what Taira couldn't do. Sorry about that. Do you think Usman should get the loser of Anthony Hernandez and RoboCop? Either of those is a winnable fight. Um, There's some aspects where I think Usman could beat Hernandez. I think if it's a 5 rounder, Hernandez could do well later if he can get him tired. RoboCop's dangerous early, but also a really, really good grappler. But Usman could just wear on him and get him tired. Those are winnable fights for Usman. You are correct. Joshua got dropped. Yep. You watch Edgar Berlaga fight. I did not. Perry Punches live. Can you finally debate him? No, not right now. Having a great chin isn't a good quality necessarily. You're true. You're correct because it does mean you get hit quite a bit. I think Van will be stinging him with a jab. I mean, sure, but I agree with you 100% that his boxing is superior. Um superior than Pantoja. But I think Pantoja's grappling could be the difference in that. He's fought a lot of better strikers and done really, really well. His takedown defense, or Van's takedown defense, is not that good. What do you think about Mobzar Malik? I think he's a fraud. I don't necessarily think he's a fraud, but I was never sold on him coming off the Contender Series against Wes Schultz. But um, and fighting like I like Stolzu. It sucks his UFC record's not that good. I think he's pretty good, but we'll see how he comes back. I have a too good by and by to all the chat. I have a great day, everyone. Appreciate you, Justin. Hope you have a good one. Do you think Jamal Emmers will be an easy fight for Douglas, like me and other people think? Oh, I agree with you. I like Jamal Emmers. I thought he beat Giga Chikadze back in the day, 100%. But yeah, Lyman's just too accurate, too much power. I think Jamal could give him problems with the length of Jamal, and potentially the grappling if he can get grapple with him early. But I think Douglas inevitably finishes him. Medic KO Rod, yeah. I saw people debating who would win in a street fight, Mike Tyson or John Jones. Makes no sense to me. John would literally kill him in any way. Kicks, knees, elbows, takedowns, etc. What do you think, though? Oh, I agree. I don't think it's a fair fight. Yeah. If you put anybody in a cell with John, John's leaving. It's no one else's. Hey, Magomed drilling, ugh. UFC 330 is like a fight night. I think UFC 330 is incredible. I had this debate with somebody on X, or no, I actually it was on YouTube. I was talking to him about it, and the only fight I didn't like was the Jasmine fight, and that fight's off. I think every other fight is potential to be KO or fight of the night or performance of the night. I just think there's going to be so many potential fun fights. I with those matchups, I don't see how they're not finishes or fun fights. I think Cop might be just as good as a striker as Van, if not better. I think Van has better boxing combinations. I think Cop has more power and is faster than Joshua Van, who has been dropped multiple times and obviously has been finished by a not so good striker. Like Charles Johnson's a decent striker, but his big thing is movement, and that sets him up with really, really good openings and distance management and all that stuff. But yeah, I think Cop knocks out Van. Me too, Torn. I always have. Do you think Hamzat has lost stock from his last loss? Nope, because there's an argument that he won that fight. There's an argument he won 3, 4, and 5. It was a very close fight. I don't think he has, but people keep saying he's lost aura of the invincibility. It was a close fight. How can you lose because of the invincibility when you go to a very, very close fight? I mean, good card, but take a look at 322, 323, and look at UFC 330 and huge difference of levels of fighters. I mean, you can say that. I get it, but it's two title fights in a women's division, which I think is going to be pretty entertaining. And then you have Islam fighting on it. I mean, you have potential of so many finishes. Like, that's what you want in a card is a quick-paced, action-packed card. And then to cap it off with Ian Gary and Islam, which we don't know how the fight's going to play out, like exciting level-wise. Um, I don't know. I really, if it was a fight night, this would probably be one of the best loaded, stacked fight nights. But because it has a pay-per-view thing, then people are like, oh, it's pay-per-view. It's not pay-per-view, but you know what I mean? A numbered card. People have this expectation of having like Sean O'Malley, Petr Yan, Islam, Ian Gary, the women's fight, and then all like Alex Pereira, Josh Hockett, Derek Lewis, whoever. You have this expectation of just bigger names when if you look at it, the names on there are big, whether they're older or not, and the fights that we could get are incredible. Sorry for the rant. This may be a deep shot, but even if UFC wants Chanko on the deep end of the pool away, give him Viziev. I mean, that's how you find out how good he is right now. I don't think that should be his next fight, but there's an argument for it. Hamzat lost 2-3. Okay. Hey, what's up, Levi? Even ever been to Louisville, Kentucky? No, I have a grandpa who lives in Greenville, Kentucky. I still look at them as pay per view just free. See, that's where sometimes they can get you in trouble, or like mind wise. Do you think Ilya's mental may be chalked? No, I think Ilya's going to be perfectly fine. He knows the mistakes that he made. He fought Justin Gaethje the only way Justin could win. That's not a knock on Gaethje. He brawled with Gaethje. That's like if you go in and you fight like Darren Elkins in a wrestling match, you might lose that wrestling match. You're fighting him his way. That's why when Leon was wrestling Colby, Rogan was like, even though he's winning these, why are you giving Colby the chance to do anything good when you're better everywhere else? Why are you playing that game? Because we've seen it before when it backfires. That's what Ilya did. He played the game. I think any other time Ilya uses his movement, uses his distance, uses his power, uses his ground game, I don't think that would happen again. Maybe, but I don't know. UFC 311, most underrated card ever, in my opinion. UFC 311. Why am I not remembering that? Makachev Marcano, you think is an underrated card? I mean, I mean, I guess I can't really argue that. It's a pretty good card, a lot of finishes. Um, Actually, prelims don't look that great. Main card actually looks really good. Um, yeah, I mean that main card is pretty sick. Okay. Ilya will come back stronger. He's young and win the belt back. He defended, yeah, 100%. Where were other week? I mean, I was live. What do you mean? I was literally live. UFC lightweight division just got even better since that French guy who's fighting Hooker just came over. Oh yeah, Greenville, not Greenwood, Greenville, Kentucky. Yeah, that guy's really good, Torn. I agree. Ilya did not look like the leader of Striker that knocked out Holloway and Volk. Not even Volk, because Volk was severely compromised. Anybody would have knocked him out. Max Holloway, anybody would have hurt him and finished him. But like Charles, anytime you've watched Ilya fight, he has good head movement. He has good head, good distance. He's a good grappler. He's not a perfect fighter because he does get touched a little bit, obviously. But he doesn't fight like he did against Justin. He just doesn't. Um, yeah, 205 is my least favorite division in the middleweight, a second close. That's okay. That's fair. UFC 323 is the best card I watched. I think better than the White House too. I don't think there's any card that's better than the White House. 323. I mean, all finishes on the White House card. The only thing that would have made it better is if Alex Pereira won. That's it. Let's see. Ooh, Devalish, Wheelie, Jan too. I mean, Taira Moreno finish, being top of the Cejudo is a fun fight. Guskov and Jan, blech, Torres, Dawson, Duncan, McKinney. Okay, okay. All right. Mm, good card for sure, but I don't know. Better than the White House. I just don't see it because that White House was so incredible. It was such a good card. Do you think Gaethje is going to retire, defend his belt? Seems like perfect time to retire. To be honest, his title win was almost perfect scenario. Might as well go out on a rather high note, risk a loss. The problem is to me, you're not a champion unless you defend it. We've seen a lot of guys win a title and then lose the next one, and it just you can get lucky sometimes. Not to take anything away, but that's the fact. You can have the perfect fight and then nothing else really. I just think you're defined a champion after your title defense. His mom said he's retiring, so we'll see. Bro, Justin is Ilya's kryptonite. Justin can wrestle. Justin can't wrestle. What the fuck are you talking? He was mounted like 3 times. What are you talking about? I can't even lie. Freedom 250 is the best card I've seen. UFC 300 is close second. I agree. How often do you go live and around what time? It's typically, I try to go live every day. At least it's 3 times a week and about midnight. Where is that located? Greenville, Kentucky. Is that on the Indiana border? I'm not really for sure. to be honest. I know it's somewhere in Louisville. You'd have to really look it up. I'm not really for sure. Let's debate Perry. I'm not doing it right now. I'm on the live. White House was real good. Oh, yeah. The most joy I've ever experienced in my life was when Alex knocked out Magomed in a rematch. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. The other one was also Izzy knocking out Pereira. And again, I'm a Pereira fan. I just people talked a lot of shit up against Izzy, and I wanted to see Izzy win. Watching Pereira and Support at the same night, really, really good, but I think more fights can be on that card. I don't think you needed more fights. I understand. I always want more fights. I get it, but yeah. Perry punch debate for the fans. Again, I'm live right now, so not this second. Another absolutely amazing card was UFC 328. There you go. I thought UFC 300 was one of my favorite cards of all time. 100% horse. Do you think 326 was good? 326. Let's see. UFC 326. Again, if you guys can, slap that like button. Super chats are always welcome. Oh, it's this one. Charles and Matt Holloway. Problem is, like, I think Kyle Barallo kind of brought the card down. I enjoyed watching Raul fight. The Dober fight was fun, even though I wanted Johnson to win, but that was a fun fight. I thought Cody Garment robbed a Long Shao to on a win. I didn't think he won that fight at all. You know, good undercard for sure. I wouldn't say it's one of the best because, like, yeah, there's decisions, and I'm okay with decisions if they're fun fights. I don't think these fights are all that great, but it was a good card. Probably, I would say probably a 6.5 out of 10. Um, Crazy 300 was 2 years ago. Boy, where does time go? You're damn right, Torin. Gary bits Islam decision 3-2. I disagree. I think Islam, if he can get Gary down, which he will, I think he can submit him. Yuri submitting Glover had me in tears. I agree with you. It was actually free because I believe it was during COVID time. It was a free pay-per-view. And yeah, that was a very, very feel-good moment for if you're a hardcore fan, you've watched what Glover's gone through with the Rumble loss, with losing to John Jones, which nothing to hold your head down on, but still, at 40 years old, I think almost 41, yeah, to see him win the belt was one of those moments where you're like, it's like the Charles moment. It's like the Charles moment when he became champion. Yep. Ism gonna ragdoll Gary. Good. 326. Garbage. 326. 326. That card was awesome. What are you talking about, Jersey? Somebody you like lose? Hill generally looks like a slob moving up. Yeah, he looks awful. He looks like shit. My body was in shock when Leon KO'd Usman. Yeah, it's also sucked because I don't like Leon really. And I thought it was going to be one of those things where it's like people are going to ignore what Usman done for 4 rounds or 3 rounds, 3.5 rounds. They were going to ignore what he did and just talk about the KO, which I hate when that happens. And then you get the third fight, and Leon literally gets points taken away from him because he's cheating to beat Usman. Again, at least that fight's a draw. The only thing I know is Leon did not win that fight. Look at 178, a classic card. Ooh, UFC 178. Ooh, Johnson Caruso. Yep. I think this was a split decision for Johnson. Oh no, this was the Kimura. Who did Caruso fight? It was a split. Oh, Michael McDonald. And I remember that guy had crazy power, weird power. Cowboy Eddie Alvarez. Yep. Hmm. Joel Tim. Mm-hmm. And then, yeah, Cruz came back. I think 2 years off. Oh my goodness. Yeah. John Howard. Oh my goodness. Kevin Lee. This is probably his third fight in. Oh, this is when John was supposed to fight Gus. Gus towards meniscus. I don't remember that. 2014. Goodness. Yo, Taj, what's up? People don't realize how big these UFC fighters are. I met Neil Magny in lobby. He's big. Yeah, he's tall. What's your thoughts on BMF title? I think it's one of the stupidest and cheesiest things ever. I mean, I like it because it gives certain fighters opportunities to become champions. I like it.
Hey, this works, right?
Just take this one if you need it. Just take this charger. I know 100% works.
Oh no, I need it for my thing.
Oh, okay. What's your thoughts on Bo Nickel? Overrated. He's a ton of hate for some reason. I think he's entertaining to watch. Likely to be a top contender in the coming years despite his slip up. Yeah, I think he's incredibly overrated. He hasn't done anything good. And people act like he's a champion. I'm not saying you. I'm just saying in general. Like not being able to finish Paul Craig is a disgrace. Like beating Kyle Dawkins, I don't think it means that much. It's the same thing if Kyle Dawkins beat Bo Nickel. It doesn't mean that much. He was never going to beat RDR, and I understand that because RDR is way better than him. I'm not dissing Bo Nickel for that. I'm dissing the matchmaking for that. He was never going to win that. The problem is when you knock out Rodolfo Vieira, who's nothing, a good grappler, but nothing in the striking. You don't finish Paul Craig and you go 3 rounds with him. Okay, cool. You beat Kyle Dawkins. Okay, cool. It means nothing. He hasn't done anything to get the hype that he's gotten. Two grapplers fighting BMF belt, yeah. Islam submits Gary. Gary's a good fighter, but he hasn't faced the pressure and pace Islam put on him. Correct. I actually enjoyed COVID UFC, dude. I loved it. I think Ian Gary can make Islam fight competitive, but he doesn't get the finishes and the way to beat Islam. Correct. That's my point, Denise. I think it's overstayed. It's welcome. I agree with you. It does. It is. I like Charles having it because like I don't know if Charles can become a champion again, even though maybe I don't know. I want him to be, so I like him being getting having the title. Why do you think Medic will beat Daniel Rodriguez? Because I think Medic is a maniac, and I think he's gonna force the action on Rodriguez, who sometimes is a slow starter, and I don't think there's a faster starter than Medic. Maybe besides Terrence McKinney. UFC 60 was a great card too. I'm getting baptized. Okay, okay. Yeah, this was the 178 was the Dominic Cruz comeback. I think after 3 years of tearing his ACL, and he destroyed Mizugaki in a minute. UFC 60. Wow, what a callback that is. Henderson Thatch. Ben Henderson, Brandon Thatch. Yeah, this was a weird one because Brandon Thatch somehow got a freaking main event spot. He had been knocking out a couple of people with I think a knee to the body against Tiago, Polio Tiago, something like that. Um, Beat some other guys, obviously, some finished them. This was a weird one again because I think this is the first time Benson went up in weight. Didn't look good early, like getting outstruck, not really like hurt and all that. But Brandon Thatch did a really good job early, and then ran out of gas. Really ran out of gas. And then I don't think he ever won a fight after that, to be honest. So very very weird um, spot there. You know, Kevin Lee was here. He beat Michael Pazaris. I think that's how you say his last name in the UFC for a really, really long time. Trying to see if there's anything else. Oh, Chaz Kelly, Jim Ellers. I really, really appreciated Chaz Kelly at this point. I was a big, big Chaz Skelly fight. Actually supposed to fight Jamal Emmers, and Emmers pulled out as Skelly was in the octagon. Unbelievable. Unbelievable stuff. Really, really was. UC 200 was hot garbage. Yeah, yeah. It wasn't great. How quickly Asori is going to finish Gaslam? I think within 2 rounds. And it sucks too because, like, I am a big Gaslam fan. I don't think he's anything what he used to be. People forget how good he was. But I think he beats him in the first 2 rounds. 170 was back in 14, I believe. Yep, it was. KG got a decent chin, so it might take a few minutes. Exactly. He has probably one of the best chins of all time. Look who he's fought. Look how many times he's been dropped and he hasn't been finished. Look what the beating he took from that Izzy fight. That's the fight that changed his whole career. Look at that chin. It's unbelievable. I wish they do something like the White House again. I wish. It costs too much money though. Maybe I'm insane for thinking this, but I think Bonfim could actually give Islam a tough fight. Yeah, I think he'd give a tough fight because he'd be kind of circling away from him. I don't think he'd engage all that much. I don't think that's necessarily a tough fight. It's like Guskov did. He lasted 4 rounds, but he did nothing. You know what I mean? He only beat Bilal. Imagine explaining to Charles Oliveira that he's a bitch for grappling the the wild time in English. He's a chariot racer in Brazil. Yeah, I would never say that, Charles. I think Charles is incredible. Again, if he's as good of a grappler and he's the most decorated grappler in UFC history, he should do that more. He will win more fights. I agree, Denise. The problem is he could be a problem. Sure, I think Islam is going to struggle. Gary. The only thing he's going to struggle with Gary is the footwork. Other than that, he's going to beat Gary. Charles should just chase big fights at this point. Fair enough. Fair, yep. They did Bo Nicolay a disservice bringing him in at 3-0. He needs time to learn to be a mixed martial artist. And again, the problem is he's 30 years old, I believe now, close to it, if not 30, if not 30. I mean, um, the problem is like he fights these guys that he's fought like Val Woodburn, Paul Craig, RDR, Rodolfo Vieira, um, Kyle Dawkins. Jamie Pickett, I believe, in his debut. He fights these people, and then he has mixed results. Oh, Cody Brundage as well, obviously. So I think he's like 5-1 or 4-1, something like that. The problem is those guys aren't good. RDR is great, but he loses. He was always going to lose. But he gets hyped for beating the guys that he's beating like he's something special. And he's just not. Paulo Ankalaev next. Should be. I would love that fight. What year was UFC three? UFC 60 was in like 2006. No, I think it was 2011. 2015 was Fight Night 60. Oh no, you're talking about UFC 60, the fucking pay per view. UFC 60. Hughes Gracie, 2006. That's what you were talking about. 2006. Yeah, this one was a really, really weird one because, like, Diego Sanchez being undefeated kind of dominated John Alessio. Appreciate your mix for the coin. Thank you so much, buddy. I am 10 subs away from smacking 6K. Now, I will have a long stream. I don't know exactly how long, but it's going to be longer than an hour stream for 6,000 subs. I really, really appreciate you. Brandon Vera winning by guillotine. Wow. Mike Swick winning by guillotine. Jeremy Horn beating Chelsea by armbar. Oh yeah, the Spencer Fisher knockout against Wyman, which is sick because Wyman gets hit with like I think a right hook and waves his finger at him, and Spencer Fisher throws a flying knee, beautiful flying knee, by the way. Melvin Gillard, Rick Davis, absolutely flatlined Rick Davis, face planted him. Get this, in 2006, Melvin Gillard, who has one of the worst records now, at this point was 20 wins, 5 losses, 2 draws. Gillard was 23 years old. People forget how freaking good Melvin Gillard was. He was awesome. Yo, did you watch Zuffa card? I didn't watch. I seen the first fight. Um, Rosa. I can't remember his name now. I seen that one, and then that's the only one I got to see. Did you see Song Yadong beating Umar? No, because of the grappling. Chess Skelly retired. Yep. I did say it, Torn. Sorry. What are your opinions? Thank you so much for the GOAT trophy. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. One of my opinions of Donald Trump. This is not a political stream. Yeah. KG took some big shots from Joe Piper and ate them, no problem. Well, he got knocked down. So there was a problem, but he survived as he does. Not a political channel, correct. Charles Oliveira can actually speak a little English. I heard him before. Yeah, that's crazy. Non politics. I knew what you meant. It generally doesn't make sense to me. Amount of hate Charles has gotten for the Holloway fight. I thought it was a great fight. Doesn't make sense to me. I agree. It's because the BMF you have to strike. What? I don't get it. I can see Charles retiring in 2 to 3 more years. Yeah, it's sad too. If they host the White House all the time, it would be wouldn't be legendary. And Trump is really big on being legendary. John 3:16. Okay. 3 more years, Charles will be 39. I believe he'll be 37 this year, so he'll be 40. Um, when those 3 years are up. Did you see Raleigh Romero Judith flip the other boxer when he got mad? I did not see that. Oh, I did see that. Yes, because I guess that guy was going a little too hard in sparring, and yeah, he flipped him. What's up, Diego? Mix, what's up, buddy? Appreciate you. Appreciate you. This weekend card is weak as fuck. Horrible main event. I don't know how the horrible main event. It's a guarantee to be fireworks. It's guaranteed not to go 5 rounds. How is that horrible? I was 12 in 2006. Yeah, depending on the time or the month here, I would have been 12 as well. Five. So yeah, I'm freaking 4 months, exactly 4 months away from being 13 years old. How are you? I'm all right. Where does BSD go from here? I mean, he loses to Patty. He loses to Poirier. He beats Rufy. You don't really want to do Max Holloway because I think Max schools him 100%. But you're going to have to go down the list a little bit. I don't really know who's there now. Is Wyman still in the UFC? Nope, he's retired. Melvin Gillard was a beast in his prime. Yep. Really, really good fighter. How and the cool thing about that is like Cowboy was the first one to finish him by punches as well. However, is how everything is going. It's going all right. I'm not really a boxing guy, me neither. Zuffa Boxy is actually really, really good. Not gonna lie. I seen some of it. It was really, really good. I like the commentary. The commentary is smart. It's clever. It's good. It's not cringy. I thought the pacing was actually pretty good as well. Bro, Spencer Fisher took Pitbull out. Alves 0 away. Oh yeah. Um, Tiago Alves. Pitbull. Is that who that is? I'm trying to think of what his freaking name is. Yes. He fought John Fitch as well. And John Fitch upkicked TKO him. If you guys didn't know that, that's a little bit of trivia for you. Who TKO'd Tiago Alves back in the day? Also was finished by Hermes Franca. Piece of shit that guy is. Piece of shit that guy is. Tiago Alves. Yep. Back in 2005. And I believe Tiago was on a roll. He was not undefeated at that point. He was 14-1. So he was not undefeated. Oh, he was undefeated, I guess, in the UFC. Or no, that was his first matchup. Yeah, that was his first matchup. Then lost to John Fitch and went on a crazy run, and then fought GSP. Beat like Josh Koscheck, Matt Hughes, Carl Parisian, Chris Lytle, John Alessio. But again, destroyed Josh Koscheck's legs. His leg kicks were disgusting back in the day. Flatlined Matt Hughes with a flying knee. Beat Carl Parisian by a knee and punches. Dr. Stoppage to Chris Lytle. Yeah, awesome. From like 2006, 2008, thought this guy could be something. And then he fought GSP. Wasn't really the same after that. Perry Punch, waiting on y'all Discord for you to join. Okay. Again, I'm live, so I can't really do that. Taj, thank you so much for the $2. I appreciate you, buddy. Again, Taj, we're 10 away from smacking 6,000 subs. Appreciate you. Berlanga gets knocked down in the first round. Ooh, okay. I used to watch back in the day when guys like Floyd Mayweather, Oscar De La Hoya, the Bernard Hopkins was fighting. Yeah, Bernard's one of the best. One of the best. See you later, brother. I'll catch you next time. I appreciate you, LW. I was 16 in 2006, although I'm actually in UNC status. Ooh, okay. Okay. So you're born in 90. So you're 36, Taj. Wow, okay. Appreciate you, buddy. BSD destroys Patty in stand up fight? No, not at all. Cowboy almost got finished by Gillard, too. Yep, got caught with a knee, which rocked him, and then he hit him with a switch head kick. Unbelievable. Put BSD Fazeev. There you go. That's a big matchup. Struggles with strikers. Let's see what he's going to do. BSD knocks Fazeev out. I doubt that. BSD has no power. I don't care that he knocked out Benio Dariush. Benio's chin's terrible right now. Yeah, he's a grappler. That's what he is. What do you think about the grad Buzaka fight? Dennis Buzaka? Something like that. Yeah, I don't. I think Dennis is coming back way too quick after that Barboza and that flat line. I think Grad is gonna grapple him. I think he's gonna use control, grapple him, maybe get him out, some ground and pound stuff. But I just don't see Dennis winning this fight. Betting wise, bet him by finish. Has a little bit of power in his hand. Grad has been finished by Luke Riley. He was a great boxer, better than Dennis, but still, I like Grad by decision or submission. Grad is awful, but he's gonna get 5 times more awful. Well, at least Grad, like he's finished by Luke Riley, but that doesn't make him awful. Like he was doing well before that. BSD versus Connor at 170 International Fight Week 2027. Only partially joking. You're right, brother. No one wants to tell you, but you got a boogie. Okay. Hermes Franca beat Nate Diaz for WC welterweight title. Yeah, Hermes Franca is a piece of garbage. Luke KO Thiago Santos in Brazil and amateurs. Ooh. Oh, who was it? David Branch? No, Gegard Mousasi, I believe. Oh, who's the guy that hit Santos and hurt him? I think David Branch also TKO'd him, but I thought there was somebody else as well. D Rod was locked up last week. Definitely not last week. It was a long time ago. He was on Rogan's podcast talking about it. What did Hermes Franca do? He, at his gym, was involved with an underage child. Sorry. Why Muslim fighters are best overall? I am saying that. I don't think they are. I think a lot of them become champions because they have the skill set to become champions, the grappling skill set. Scousers don't get knocked out. Patty beats BSD anywhere it goes. Correct. Remember Dennis Seaver? Oh yeah. We always hear about the spinning back kick. Yeah. I always remember for that disgusting Cub Swanson finish. It's all about hard work. And then like Cowboy switched head kicked him and rear naked choked him. Unbelievable. Oh no, he finished him with punches. I'm sorry. Head kicked him, switch head kicked him, and then finished him. Unbelievable. It's all about hardworking. Most Dagestanis are hardworking men. I mean, look at Marab. He is Christian, but he beat Umar. Fair. I hate Dennis Seaver. Why? He's a little overrated because of the spin back kick, but yeah. How are you rated this weekend card from 1 to 10? I think personally, this card is probably a good 8. It can go up because there's a potential, again, there's a potential we get a shitload of finishes. Shitloads. I mean, Medic and Rodriguez, there's not a chance that fight goes 5 rounds. There's not a chance. It's less fun than the Ankalaev boring ass fight. Um, yeah, I mean, literally. The only fight you could say that's not great is like Tybora, Rakic, Todorovic, Valentine. But again, these fights aren't going the distance. So it's going to be short and it's not going to overstay its welcome at all. I think that's great. Yeah, I don't see anything bad. I guess Haley Cohen's fight's not okay. Stephanie Luciano is not okay. But if there's any decisions, it's going to be the girl fights. That's it. Like Michael Oliveira versus Oben Elliott's incredible. Mark Vlogden's fighting again. That's gonna be a fun fight. Gilbert Urbina gets KO'd basically every time he steps in the cage. That's gonna be a good fight. Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with this card. Dennis Seaver fought that Cowboy too. Yep. Who's the best MMA fighter that transitioned to wrestling? I say Ken Shamrock. I'd say Bobby Lashley. God of War. He was, yeah, I would say Bobby Lashley. Imagine Francis comes back to the UFC. UFC would allow that. I don't know. I think if he came back, he would obviously beat a lot of guys, but the heavyweight division's so bad, I don't think he'd be as tested as he should be. Rizvan Knee was brutal the last card. It was awesome. A lot of fun, a lot of unknown fighters, man. I mean, I disagree. There's a lot of fighters making their debut, but I mean, you can watch tape on them and see how they're going to do in the UFC. Just because they're not in the UFC doesn't mean you should know them. Like, you're not going to know everybody, but watch some of the fights. Main card is really solid, but I'll skip the prelims. I think the prelims are pretty awesome. I don't know why you'd skip them. Like you have Michael Oliveira, Oben Elliott on the prelims. Those prelims are awesome. Let's see. Let's see. Main card. Prelim. Ludovic Klein, Tafik Masayev. That's an awesome fight. Oliveira, Oben Elliott, great fight. Mark Vlogden, Nikolic, I think that's how you say it. Great fight. Bogdan, Dennis, good fight. Matthias Rebecki, Kyle Popolik, good fight. Prelim. And then the two girl fights, okay, fine. And Javin Leka, making his UFC debut, I believe. Again, that's going to be a good fight as well. Do not skip the prelims. The two girl fights you can skip, fine, but I wouldn't skip the other ones for sure. I got kicked out of MMA group chat because I said Bellator fights are nowhere the level of UFC fighters. So far I've been proven correct nonstop. The Bellator fighters are nowhere the level. I mean, it's correct. Bellator fighters are not on the level. There are some incredible fighters that are in Bellator or PFL, but they're not on the level of UFC. It's just true. Do you have any locks this weekend? Yes, I have one lock as of right now. Um, buh, 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 buh. I have who is that? I have. Let me see. Bu- 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 I have. I guess I'm gonna pull it up on my screen real quick. Michael Oliveira over Open Elliott. Did you see Joey is glazing in Ankalaev's performance against Guskov? Yeah, of course he is. That all that guy does is just pick random fighters and be like, I'm on him right now. Of course. Unbelievable. Brock Lesnar became champ. You're right. Joey's an idiot. Yep. Pretty to wrestler transition. Yeah. As of like accomplishments, Brock Lesnar for sure. Yeah. But Bobby Lashley had more fights, and there's an argument. I was talking for Hermes Franca. Yeah. Hermes Franca. You were talking about Hermes Franca. Yeah, he um, inappropriately touched an underage girl. Was I a fan of Damian Maya? Yeah, Damian Maya was awesome. He actually said he wants to come back and fight, which is crazy. If he does, give him a grappler because he's a grappler. Remember Tyson Griffin? Yeah, Tyson Griffin was awesome. Knocked his bitch ass out. And then Tyson Nam fought fucking Thunderball Takanori Gomi and got flatlined. Unbelievable fight that was. He had a good chin too. Had good fights against Frankie Edgar, Clay Guida. Really, really fun fighter back in the day. Alex will send Ankalaev to tire shop. I hope he does. God, I hope so. Chanko, can't believe Doltov pulled out. Yeah, he got sick real bad, I guess. Los, what's up, buddy? We are 10 subs away from 6,000. Super chats are welcome. I appreciate you guys so much. Gosh, appreciate you. When are you down for Perry collab? When I'm not live streaming. Yeah, I'm down anytime that I'm not live streaming. Michael Oliveira, yep, he's a lock. I like Open Elliott a lot. I just don't think he stands a chance against the power of Michael Oliveira. PFL hasn't even been that long. They're still a fairly new MMA company. They came around back in 2017. Again, they merged with Bellator, so it's a little bit expanded now. But yeah, I mean, like Miguel Torres fought there. Desmond Green fought there as well. He had a DUI thing a little while ago that actually hurt some people badly and went to prison. But I think he's fighting again now. Andre Abulov, I don't know if I said his name right, but he was dope. He's from Bellator. Um, I don't know who that is exactly. Who did he fight? I don't remember that. How far can John Pork go? It's too hard to know, Mark, because like we've seen him fight a good fighter, but we didn't see him fight an experienced UFC guy. So we just need a few more fights to actually know where he can go because I want to see his wrestling tested. I want to see his cardio tested and see how his strikes are able to hold up. I thought Damien was very tough, very durable, got hurt a few times, still kept pushing, but there wasn't any really resistance. So. I don't even know why Jan Blachowicz is the the main event instead of Dirty D Rod. Yeah, I would take D Rod. Jan sucks. What are you talking about, bro? I remember Damien. Yep, Jan winning. I think Jan's getting finished. Slow, no output. 43 years old. Yeah, let me go, Sterling. Do you think it's insensitive to call Chanko John Pork because of his religion? Not to mention, he says he doesn't like it. Well, if he says he doesn't like it, don't call him it. You know. Would you rather smoke blunt with Connor or Justin? I'd have to go Justin because Connor's done some shady shit outside the octagon. Also, Mike Oliveira is some dangerous striker. Oh yeah, you got to watch him in contender series. I blame DJ. Blame DJ. Oh, okay. I remember Damian Maya style. He was a jiu-jitsu guy 100%. His striking was not that great, but the way he submitted Chael Sonnen was amazing. I mean, that one's amazing. His fight against Gunnar Nelson was incredible. Really, really like that match. Such a good, basically grappling match in a UFC fight. Such a fun one. Also remember Nate Marquardt flatlining him in like 9 seconds with one punch. Incredible. Who do you have against Paulo Costa against Evil Inc? I think Ankalaev is a good fighter, but I find him incredibly boring, not fun to watch, just kind of nothing really. I think Costa forces a fight out of Ankalaev, and I think Costa can win. Usman fighting his last fight in the PFL soon. If you were to guess, where would he? Would he fight in the UFC by the end of 2020 or early 2027? I don't know if he's gonna make the jump over to the UFC. I don't know if he's gonna. I haven't heard any rumblings that he's thinking about it. I don't know what his thoughts on the UFC really. I would assume he's gonna sign another contract. Usman Nurmagomedov, yeah. Who fought Paul Hughes, yeah. DJ coined the nickname for Chonko as John Pork. Ah, okay. Jan sucks, bro. He was a champ. I don't care that he was a champion. I do not care that he was a champion. Put some respect on his name. He was the one who took the O from Adesanya record on UFC. I thought Izzy won 3, 4, and 5. No, I thought he won one, 2, and 3. Hurt Jan a bunch of times. Also, that fight doesn't mean a ton because Izzy's not a light heavyweight fighter. He's a middleweight fighter going up. It's like, cool. It took Jan wrestling Izzy to win that fight. Not striking with him, wrestling. So, yeah, I just don't find him very exciting at all. Jan has objectively slowed down. Oh, has he slowed down? Oh, yeah. That was a long time ago, though, Diego. Correct, better. What's going on, man? You've been staying up late. This is the time I'm typically on, Combat. What's up, buddy? Appreciate you. Again, we are very, very close. Who's the DDP fight next? I say the winner of Fluffy RoboCop. I think Imavov. If Imavov doesn't get the shot against Strickland, I think DDP should fight Imavov. Honey, you are correct. Is Michael Oliveira striking dangerous like Carlos Prates or Michael Morales? I would say power wise, I think he's actually a good cross between those guys. I gotta be honest. I know that's a little early maybe, but I would say he's a cross between them. Long, rangy, big power. I think he's a little bit of a mix of both. What's going on, man? What's up, Sam? Do you remember Maya versus Askren? Of course I remember it. The grappling, incredible. Striking, dog shit. I've been thinking about doing live streams like debates but martial arts topics. Have you seen anything like that? Debates but martial arts topics. I haven't seen anything like that. I mean, anything that you want to talk about on live, just do it. Anything. What's next for Chimaev? I mean, there's 205. It's all the way open, but it also could be a rematch with Strickland. Have you always been a night owl or are you an early morning type of guy? No, I'm a night owl. That's when I do my stuff. That's when the family goes to sleep and I do my content. And yeah, I don't do it when they're awake typically. Um, yeah, I'm a night guy. I've always been that way. You was saying Pereira wins against Jan was amazing. You was saying Pereira wins against Jan was amazing. I never said Pereira's win against Jan was amazing. I said it was incredibly close. And I also said if Jan ground and pounded at all when he took him down at the end of that third round, that he wins the round. I never said it was amazing. Man, you got me to go watch a Contender Series fights. Go check it out. It's incredible. PFL card, which one? The last one, Thad Gene. I'm not sold on Thad, but I do like Thad a lot. My guy in the PFL right now is Jesus Pinedo. I'm a big Jesus Pinedo guy. Paul Acosta, Khalil for the title shot. I love that fight. Since Holloway is talking about potentially staying at 170, how does he do against Michael Oliveira? I mean, we don't really know about Michael's cardio. In the first round, it's going to be incredibly dangerous for Max. It just is. That being said, we know nothing about Michael's cardio. We don't know. I would pick Max, but it's a dangerous first round against Michael. But we just don't know anything about him. We know a lot about Max. Jan is a great man and a great fighter. Okay. And honestly, fuck Dana White for letting him fight in the UFC. Yeah, kind of like Krav Maga sucks, prove me wrong type of thing. Yeah, you definitely. I mean, put that as your title when it gives you the option of like your thumbnail and your title or whatever. Put that on there and go for it. I mean, yeah, it does not hurt to have stuff like that at all. Khalil deserves another shot at the title. I agree. Oh, did you watch Sam's fight? I seen some of it. I seen that he was pretty bloody. I thought he did well early. He actually talked to 10-7. If you guys don't know, check him out. And he did kind of what he said he was going to do. He was going to try to big brother him, use his size. He was able to kind of do that. I thought Uriah Hall started obviously a little bit too late. Didn't seem like he was getting going early enough. But that's kind of always been Hall's style. When Mazal knocked the shit out of Ben Askren was crazy. That was incredible, yeah. And then people all of a sudden were like, yeah, Masvidal is good. I was like, yeah, no shit. We've known this for years. How does Khalil deserve a shot? He's the light heavyweight version of Michael Chandler. He's so much better than Michael Chandler. How can you even make that comparison? Was winning 2.5 rounds against Yuri, was winning 4 rounds against Alex Pereira until he was finished. What are you talking about? Michael Chandler hasn't done anything good since what? The fluke against Tony Ferguson, the knockout against Dan Hooker, and I like Michael Chandler. Chimaev gets KO'd if he moves up. He's a bully and a panic wrestler. They're too big. Well, there's some fighters he would beat up there. Usman and Magomedov fights July 31st for PFL. There you go. Okay, there you go. Krav Maga isn't a real martial art. As a huge Chimaev fan, I think you're right. Go do God. Oh, God of War. Jesus Christ. I think this weekend's card is not great. Too much rookies. I mean, I disagree. I think that offers a fight night 100% to be potential, especially in another country, potential to have a lot of finishes. I think for a fight night, that's what you want. You want finishes. And I think this card is being matched to get finishes. I think that's exactly what's happening. Um, he will be top five, but not champ. Uh, Potential, yeah, yeah, yeah. Jan was outstriking Izzy all the way 5 rounds. What are you saying? Izzy gets robbed? My God, I never said Izzy got robbed. Actually, never said that. I said I thought Izzy won. Clearly, Jan won 4 and 5 because he took him down. But again, I don't care about that fight because Izzy's not a light heavyweight fighter. I thought he did very good with his striking against Jan. Even hurt him a few times. But if you thought Jan won, cool, congratulations. I don't think that's that big of a win. On paper, name wise, it's a good win. He's not a light heavyweight fighter, so I don't care. I never said he got robbed. Khalil puts his everything into every fight. Oberg already beat Yuri and Inc. Got a layup and couldn't finish against a ranked 9, not 8, 9 on short notice until the fifth round. Correct. Yeah, I kind of fancy myself as a historian of martial arts, so I know a lot about how all these martial arts started in their origins. It would be fun to kind of have a debate thing. Do it and put that in the title. Let's debate, and then you put it in there, or you put your title and then say let's debate. Do that. Do you think DDP beats Sean again for sure? For sure. Bro, Izzy should move up. Best career move. I think it's a great move. I don't, because again, if you watch the Imavov fight, he was whooping that ass until the eye poke, and then he got TKO'd. And then he fights Piper, and he's beating the shit out of him, has a lapse in judgment, brawls with him, and then gets finished. I don't think he needs to move up. I don't think that's the problem. I hope soon there is an option on Paramount Plus to mute commentary during the fights and just listen to the fighters and their corners. Mixed, that'd be incredible. It really would be. I'm a big Paul Felder guy. I like him a lot on commentary, but I just don't think there's enough guys that are good to listen to. Bro, I hope you will go live this weekend. Card is funny. Funny watching the card with you and dudes. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely do it. I still did the hour and a half left of the card. I just couldn't do it. It was too early in the morning. I had some family stuff going on, but it's 9 o'clock this week. I should definitely be able to do it. A historian, really? Why haven't there been any successful Thai fighters in the UFC? If you take a ranked Muay Thai fighter and teach him good takedown defense, they could easily be top contenders. It's easier said than done. That's why. What was Iceman's best fight of his career? I mean, you have to say, like, title wise, it's Randy Couture. Name wise, it's probably like Tito Ortiz because fame wise, that one I think boosted him up. But it's either one of those. Combat Journey, would you have people call in to pay? Ooh, that's a good idea. That would be a solid content. Yeah, I'd be a caller. There you go. DC is way better as an interviewer, especially his sit down interviews. I mean, his sit down interviews are okay. I think Joe Rogan's way better as a post fight interviewer, not even close. I don't think DC's an incredible coach. He's good at sit down interviews for sure. I get that. I don't think he's great at the post fight stuff. I know I said this, but they should hire Frank Mir for commentary. God of War, I don't know if you said this. I don't remember if you have before. That's an incredible idea. People forget how good he was in the WEC. Actually got fired because he said he was going to kill Brock Lesnar. That's not a joke. That's why Stephen Bonner, RIP Stephen Bonner, that's why Bonner became commentator, who again was awesome as a commentator. Masvidal was making jokes about Masvidal English. He deserves that knee. Who? Paul Felder and Anik are carrying commentary. Otherwise, it's trash, especially Bisbing having to remind everybody he was champion every second he gets. I agree with you. John Anik, I was a huge fan of. He seems a little bit more political this last year or so to me. So I'm not huge on John Anik. I wish like Paul Felder. I wish like Poirier would be down there. Shit, I wish they would have Dean Thomas. I wish they would have like Jim Miller. I don't know how good he'd be, but I'd love to see it. I'm not as high on Anik as I used to be. Yeah, definitely have people call in. Maybe have a link, dude. That's a sick idea. Do you remember the first Dana White Contender season? Is that with O'Malley? Otherwise, I don't really remember. Gable Stevenson is going to be a next Greg Hardy, probably. He might get a little farther because he's a natural wrestler, they say. But there's a big potential that Greg Hardy it turns into Greg Hardy. Yes. Damn, he said he will kill Brock. Yep, that's what he said. What the fuck? I didn't know that. Frank is too intelligent. I love Bonner too. Yeah, you didn't know that? Yeah, I had found that out too. Again, I loved the WEC. I like Mike Goldberg. Oh, Torin. I forgot about Mike Goldberg. Incredible. There's actually a thing where Sean O'Malley, like, say what you want about him, but Mike Goldberg wasn't there when Sean was coming up, like for the Wineland knockout and stuff. And Goldberg goes on his podcast and does his commentary on the knockout of Wineland. It's incredible. I like Mike Goldberg. I really miss Mike Goldberg. Would Khabib go undefeated again if he were a fighter starting his career right now? Not at all. I thought he lost against Gleison Tebow. Kevin Holland come from Contender Series? Yes, he did. And I think Dana said he didn't like him on the Contender Series. Underrated pick for commentary about Carlos Khan. Dude, horse, you're speaking my knowledge. You're fucking speaking it for me. Yes, Carlos Condit, please. You kidding me? One of the most underrated destroyers of his time. Like his nickname is such a perfect nickname for him. I love it. Great call there, horse. Ugh. DC's always glazing black and wrestling fighters. Yeah, yeah. Yes, really a historian. I got a question, sir. What's up? Askren. Oh yeah. Askren was talking some shit. Goldberg been out of the UFC since 2016, I believe. 10 years he's been gone. If CM Punk had 6 years younger, he could have been pretty all right, low tier fighter. I don't think so. If he started fighting early and not wrestled, maybe. Thank you so much for the makeup brush. Thank you. Combat, tell me about origins of kendo. I would love Tony Ferguson on the commentary team. See, I don't think Tony's great on the mic. So I don't know how that would go. I like Joe Rogan. I like his commentary. Me too. I don't think he's right all the time, but there's something else when Rogan's excitedness to me, because I grew up with him, that commentary style. That when he's there, I'm even more excited because he's excited. It's just hard to keep up with him because of the crazy ass where he promotes crazy bullshit to those science. I tried to separate it. Yeah. Remember when Diego KO'd Diego Riggs, Diesel Riggs? Dude, God of War. Yeah, hit him, I think, with a left hook, dropped him, ran in with a knee. One of the most disgusting knees to a finish ever. Like, he hits him with like six right hands while he's knocked out cold on the ground. Incredible. Dude, God of War, great one. Great one right there. I said, what the fuck are you talking about? Thought you needed some blush. Appreciate you. Tony would be hilariously unhinged on commentary. Yeah, like Steven Tyler on American Idol. When I was a kid, he was on that. Unbelievable. Rogan is entertaining. Yeah. Paul Felder, Eddie Alvarez, and maybe Laura Sanko. Okay. I don't think Laura's great, to be honest. I think she just kind of says it doesn't seem like a natural thing for Laura. Like Paul, it seems natural. Everything he's doing there seems natural. It doesn't seem like that with Laura. When CM Punk was about to make his debut, what were your thoughts? He wasn't gonna do well. I was curious. I was excited. I didn't think he was going to do well because he's not a fighter. Kendo is rooted in sword fighting. Not a Rogan guy for commentary personally. Fair enough. He's be talking about the most random things during the fight. I mean, that's fair. That's fair. They use like bamboo sticks now. When the UFC did the military fights, oh yeah, like when dude, when Tim Tim Kennedy when he fought there, and he tells like after he knocks out Rafael Natal, and he goes to the crowd and says, "I love you," and like a heart and all this stuff. One of the generally most incredible things because he was in the military. He was this decorated guy. Unbelievable stuff, man. Ah, yeah. Sanko is good for jiu-jitsu, but otherwise, meh. Yeah. Michael Bisping is good. Michael Bisping's not good. UFC needs to get into combat sambo. It's like MMA but better because you get element of the gi. Yeah, the problem with gi is it seems so like, are you going to take the gi off when you're striking? It doesn't feel like it's a place to have it. UFC last military card was back in 2013. Ooh, who was on that military card? Was it the Tim Kennedy one when he knocked out Rafael Natal? Was that what that was? Last fought in 2016. It's been 10 years for good old Timmy boy. Holy crap. Let's see, 2013. um, Rafael Natal. Is it literally just Fight for the Troops 3? Was that all there was? I felt like there was way more. Dude, I miss those events. Those events are so fun. They were so fun. Yep. That was the last one, 2013. 2008, 2011, 2013. Um, Ankalaev was perfect yesterday. Yeah, he looked like shit. Oops. Oh, call me crazy. If Diego beat Josh Koscheck, he would have beat GSP. Early Diego style was horrible style for him. The problem is like there's a potential because like Matt Sayre was able to catch GSP. There's a potential Diego could have done something against GSP, especially early, like one early rounds. The problem is he was so kind of like spazzy, even in the Diesel Riggs fights. Those fights that I don't know if GSP could have gotten a hold of him and controlled him and done good things. It's a very good argument, God of War. The UFC should have guest commentaries for boring fights. Is pretty cool of some celebrities who's a UFC fan. I thought Drew Brees actually sounded pretty good on the commentary team a couple uh, cards ago with Theo Vaughn. I don't think Theo's great on that aspect, but I thought Breeze sounded actually pretty good. My issue with Rogan is he always says the submission is locked in and then the fighter gets out shortly after. Well, I mean, to his credit, Brian, I will say this to his credit, sometimes it is locked in and then they get out. Like that's not necessarily on Rogan for being wrong. Is sometimes it actually is locked in, and you have to remember also is like he's looking through the cage, so he doesn't see what fans on the TV are seeing. That's then a big issue as well. Tim Kennedy also lied about his decent amount of his military experiences. Apparently, that's what I've heard. I don't know if that's true. I don't know. I don't know. I'd be very very sad if that was true. Why do you don't like Bisbing? Is it because of his accent? Diego, come on. What a dumb question. I don't care. I don't care that he has an accent. I don't care that he's English at all. Um, I just don't think he's a good commentator. I don't think his sense like it's like him being a coach. It's like he was coaching a fight on the Ultimate Fighter, and he was like, you gotta move," instead of giving actual directions. He's just talking. I don't think that's good. Shiloh, what's up, buddy? UFC last military card was UFC White House. I guess it'd be technically the White House, technically, but 2013. That's true, actually. A lot of Tim Kennedy's claims have been proven to be stolen valor. That's very sad. I still think Tim's an incredible human for what he's done for the military. I don't know the extent of it. Maybe I need to do some research, and then I'll come back to you guys and talk to you about it. Bro, trust me, watch Combat Sambo. It's fucking intense. People using the gi like a collar and putting them into a punch. It's crazy. Fair enough. Anything with gi is buns. And they allowed to headbutt. Yeah, see, I don't know if I'm cool with headbutts. I'll check it out though. Yo, Perry about to hop off, but he's still down for a collab. If you okay with it, can we do it now, pound for pound? Again, I'm on a live. Tell him I'm very close to 6K subs. So if he's free tomorrow, I got it. I got him tomorrow. But I'm trying to smack uh 6K subs. So um Let's see. Advance metrics. Crap. Port. No. Let's see. Why is it doing that? I want live. Okay, so I am 7 subs away from smacking 6,000. Anyone else hate the politicization of MMA? It's just super cringe to parade Trump and RFK when they know jack about fighting. I mean, fair, but like Trump has been a big supporter early in the UFC, so like I get that. Again, I'm not a political guy at all. Um, I'm not a political guy at all. But I know he was involved with the UFC long before anybody else. Gibson should have gotten a sub in the first to last card, but he didn't. Like, he was close, but the guy didn't tap out. So again, 7 subscribers away from smacking 6,000 subs. Do you think UFC is falling apart this year and is about to end? That no. That's what? No. What is the most underrated KO of all time? TJ Dillashaw, Henan Barrow, 2. I think is one of the most underrated KOs of all time. Dude, he hit him with like almost 30 punches when Barra was against the cage. It's an incredible knockout. Yeah, Joe Rogan yelled out and helped that one guy correct his submission when he said he needs to get his head on the other side of the guy, heard him and did it. There you go. Perfect. Bro, watch Diego Sanchez versus Carl Parisian for a badass fight. Love that fight. I believe he knocked out a tooth, Caro's tooth in that matchup. Shiloh Primetime is cute. Okay. Can you see my profile, bitches? I have no idea. I think Pereira's debut is one of the most underrated knockouts ever. The problem is, like, Michailidis wasn't a good fighter. Incredible flying knee, but yeah. You're allowed to headbutt in UFC if Herb Dean is the ref. You're goddamn right about that. I like how Joe Rogan describes the men body physique as vivid detail. Yeah, it's a little zesty, but MMA, what's your thoughts on the whole Shiloh versus Vinny beef? I don't know what the beef is. Like, let me know. Why don't you make collabs with Fight Society? If I could make a collab with Fight Society, I would have done that already. I'm not declining them. I've never been asked. Anyone else think Sean Strickland is in the closet? I mean, I don't give a fuck if he is, so I would never think about it. Nah, but I think Dana White is definitely in the closet. Okay. I mean that's the last thing that anyone has heard, but okay. Isn't Strickland married now or engaged? He's married. Sean feels like he's constantly trying to convince people he's straight. That's true. What's the point of Ultimate Fighter when literally got fighters coming from a contender series just to have more, just to have the reality space? Maybe I don't know. Doesn't really make sense to have Ultimate Fighter when contender series is around. Again, I guess just more fighters. I don't know. Very handsome. Okay. My wife thinks I'm very handsome. Most underrated KO was when Marcus Brimage KO'd a Brazilian watch. Oh, with the head kick. Yep. Marcus Brimage on, I think it was the Ultimate Fighter. I don't remember, but he was on a couple fights where he looked pretty promising. Turned out not to be all that good, but yeah, that head kick was disgusting. Yeah. It was nasty. Again, if you guys can, super chats are always welcome. Helps out the channel. I think I'm about $10 away from smacking that $100 mark. So let's hit those super chats and subscriptions. Basically, Shiloh views Vinny as a low life, subhuman waste of life, and Vinny feels Shiloh is wrong and has misconceptions. Okay, I don't know who these people are, so I don't know I don't know. How would Genghis Khan do in the UFC? Terrible. I mean, I'm asking because MMA Joey is always saying UFC is dying. Yeah, he's always saying anything negative. He says negative things because he gets attention, because people click. That's why. No, I don't think it's dying. I mean, they just sold out a crap load of the last venue they were at. They sold it out very, very quickly. No, I don't think it's dying. Marcus Brimage was Conor McGregor's debut. Yep, got destroyed with some uppercuts. Remember Congo versus Pat Barry, never laughed harder during a UFC event. Again, I thought Pat should have got the stoppage. I thought the referee should have stepped in, but unbelievable knockout by Chet Congo. Unbelievable. Loved Pat Barry as a fighter. Not a great person, as I've heard. What was KO where the guy hit the flying from a waist lock? Enziguri from a waist lock? I have no idea. Oliveira's a better than Maya. I mean, credentials. Yeah, Charles has the most submissions of all time. So yeah, MMA Joey is the biggest complainer. Yep. Do you like rap music? Some, not a lot. He's a rage baiter. Yep. Do you shave your gooch? Also, the interaction, the likes, the comments this month has been absolutely incredible. So I really appreciate you guys so much. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Uh, Hit that bell notification. Also, you can become a member as well. I think it's for as low as $2.99. Helps out the channel, helps me out. You get content earlier than other people. So definitely check that out. Let's see. I'm going to throw it in the members. There's the link. Oops, see daisy. I got to move my phone real quick. Barrel. Okay. Right here. Boom. Right there. And I'm going to pin it. So become, here's the pin to be, here's the comment to click to become a member. So there you go. Appreciate you. Mixed sent a high five, buddy. Appreciate you so much. Oh, why are you so many people trying to gaslight us into thinking Hockett's funny? I think Hockett's shtick is awful. MMA Joey is a genuinely the worst MMA YouTuber. Again, the problem is he has almost 50,000 subscribers. So what can we say? You know what I mean? I get arrogant vibes, Pat Barry. He seems like the type of guy who says something slick in disguise as a joke. I agree with you. As a hardcore MMA fan, I'm pretty sure you have been watching this since nobody was putting attention to the UFC and when the UFC was not mainstream. 100%. 100%. Where it felt wrong sometimes watching it. Everyone talks about MMA Joey. I feel like I got to watch his vids to understand what you guys are talking about. Yes, you do. Appreciate you, Mixed, for the marshmallow high. Thank you so much, buddy. It was the one from where he hit the jumping roundhouse from behind. Oh, fucking Yves Edwards, Josh Thompson. I'm sorry. Yeah. And then Josh the Punk Thompson. And then he finished him with ground and pound, became the champion with that finish. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yep. Yep. He had his back, and Josh went for a spinning back fist and fucking head kicked him. Unbelievable finish. Please go hate. Say he sent you? Okay. MMA Joey's a mean dude. Again, he gets clicks. He gets fucking attention for it. That's why I said you don't never know what to take from him. You don't know what his actual opinion is because he says such bullshit. Guru is also a terrible person. Is he? I can stand Guru way more than I can stand Joey. MMA Joey loves talking shit about fighters, especially Michael Chandler. Mike Chandler, yeah, yeah, especially Michael Chandler. Again, we are 2 likes away from smacking 20 likes. Appreciate you guys so much. We are almost there. Even though Usman lost against DDP, I thought people calling him wash is silly because he did go at a weight class against a former champion. Yes, the problem is it wasn't competitive. A couple shots in one round, and then the flurry at the end of the fifth, where he still got caught at the end of the combination by DDP. The problem is like him being tough and durable at this point in his career isn't necessarily good enough to keep going. Joey was more humble back in 2021 when he first got on here. Oh, 100% he was. 100%. So that's why I think you can appreciate the way UFC has been growing up or making big. 100%. Yeah, because it like them going to ESPN to me seemed unbelievable. And then they go to Paramount, which I like Paramount. Me and my wife watch a lot of things on Paramount. I think it's incredible. not just because it's cheaper to watch, because it's more available for people to watch. Again, 6 subscribers away from 6,000 subs. Guru said tons of racist stuff and discriminatory stuff. That sucks. That's not good. 2021 Joey, 2026 Joey, two totally different people. Yep. He found what works and he sticks to it. I don't like Guru at all, but it's better than Joey by far. Yep. You look like he mankind's. I don't know what that means, but okay. He didn't start his negative shit until like 2024. Yep. They should have a special division of the UFC only for people with zero professional training just to see what happens. That would be very bad, and no one would take him serious. So you can't do that. Guru is also annoying and terrible at picking fights because of his bias. Yeah, but the problem is like at this point in Guru's career, because he's almost like 200,000 subs, he's not. People aren't tuning in for his picks. People are tuning in for his personality, his crash outs. It's not no longer about his picks. It's kind of how I feel about Lucas Tracy. How many years have you been watching UFC? A little over 20. It's about 2004. A lot of these MMA guys been on YouTube for years. Yep. Back in the day, UFC was in the shadows of WWE 100%. 100%. Again, Vince was big into the UFC when it first started coming up as well. He really was. Like the Weasel been on YouTube since 2016. Yeah, I haven't been on since 2016. I have not been on since 2016. That is for sure. Yeah. Fluke's Glazy. Fluke is great Glazy. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Only reason Guru is famous is because of Mighty Mouse. He was way bigger. He was big already before Mighty Mouse. W is still way bigger than the UFC. Yeah, there's a lot of kids involved, like watching it and stuff. It's gonna be bigger until those kids grow up and see the UFC. Ron and MMA is kind of arrogant and rude too. I agree with you because when they did I actually had a couple of interactions with that guy. I talked to him about the Alex Pereira Jamal Hill. I picked Jamal because of how awkward he was at that time. We didn't know the downfall yet. The reason why I liked him is because he was at that time good at distance control, and we've seen Pereira be a little bit chinny. And the finish was a little weird because when something calls time, you're supposed to separate them. The problem is when Pereira said he was good, which is okay, fine. Herb Dean didn't make sure they were separated. So the distance that Jamal created, that was his game plan. Pereira closed the distance, and then Herb resumed the fight, and then he gets caught a couple seconds later. That's the problem. And he was like, "That's not fucking true." He was being real arrogant. So yeah. Lucas Tracy's a good man. He's a very smart guy and humble dude. So funny, has a lot of knowledge. All right, Diego. Sucks because WWE sucks right now. Oh, yes, it does. You know why? Because they don't know how to they don't know how to tell stories, and they don't know how to build characters. Not like when I was growing up. What's up, Dingle? But I don't like Ron and MMA either. There you go. Appreciate you, Dingle. We are 6 or 7 subscribers away from smacking 6,000 subs. Bedtime MMA, Bilal Muhammad, his way to victory in his amateur fight was funny. Yikes. Ugh. Unfortunately, like, I'm a like, when I was younger, I liked to grapple. So that probably would have ended up being me. But I would have been looking for finishes. But again, at the end of the day, the name of the game is to win. So whatever you got to do to win, you do that. 2022 to 2024 was so peak for WWE, some of the best 2 years in wrestling history. I disagree. I grew up in like the 2002 era, so like to me, it's like 2003 to 2007. That ruthless era for me is my heyday of that stuff. I'm so glad Lucas Tracy is funny. He isn't arrogant like MMA Joey and Ronan. Yeah, I've never been a huge Lucas fan. Gosh, why are so many of these YouTubers arrogant and rude? Again, torrent. The reason why is because it gets clicks. That's why. That's why. It's like when like I watch a guy, Cody Leach, he always says, when I'm negative, the views go crazy. When I'm not as negative and I'm positive, it's a lot less. I grew up on Ruthless. There you go. Yep. Is there one thing with UFC you can change right now? What would it be? Ooh. I would add more weight classes. That's what I would do. I don't. I think 170 to 85 is crazy. I think there should be a weight class every 5 pounds. That's what I think. Why yo don't like Lucas? I never said I don't like him. I didn't say I don't like him. I said I don't really, don't really go with him. I watched the PG era of WWE too. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the PG era. Ruthless Aggression was pretty bad, but was carried by the main event scene, especially Kurt Angle and The Undertaker. I'm not a big Undertaker guy. Like I like Chris Benoit. I know Chris Benoit, Orton, Batista, like that Elimination Chamber scene, Jericho, Christian, all of those. Tajiri, just some really, really good times for me. I stopped watching WWE in 2013. Yep, they should do a UFC WWE crossover card. That'd be crazy. 165 division would be insane. Oh yeah. Do you think Pereira can beat Gon in a rematch, and why? I do think he could. I think he needs to be a little bit lighter. Now he's going to know what to expect with the movement and all that stuff. He needs to be a little bit more active. Sometimes your best defense is offense. And again, I still thought Alex won the first round. Very close. If you disagree, that's okay. Super close. But I do think Pereira can still beat him. But that is his hardest fight in the heavyweight division. Is gone. R.I.P. Chris Benoit, the Canadian GOAT. He was incredible. I know the problems. I know it sucks. I'm sorry. I know. Jamie Noble. You have Jamie Noble. Yep. I was a big Paul London guy too growing up. Did you watch WWE in 2011? Um, I don't think so. Tajiri was so underrated. Yep. I just saw. No, you did not. Good try. Cool. By the way. Thanks, though. I don't believe Chris Benoit did it. I don't know. All I know is from like Chavo talking to him and all this stuff. A lot of people thought some weird shit. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't. Yeah. Do you remember the time when UFC started the deal with Venom? You was missing Reebok. I was not missing Reebok. I like Venom so much more. Um, but yeah, I didn't really care for Reebok. Michael Chandler versus Cody Rhodes, it would not be good. He definitely did it, but CTE plus steroids used and all destroyed his career and his life. Well, again, the doctor that studied his brain said he had a brain of like an 80-year-old, like mid 80s, like Alzheimer's patient. Like he was done. Even his son said in the interview years ago at this point, who looks quite a bit like him, said that he was having a hard time doing things, remembering things. Kind of scary when you think about it. Oh, it's scary for sure. Edge and his beef with the Hardy brothers, incredible. Yeah, I was not an Edge fan growing up, and then he retired. I was like, oh no, I'm gonna miss that guy. Yep. You like Paramount? Love Paramount. Landman, Lioness, love Paramount. Eddie Guerrero, dude, Eddie Guerrero was probably my favorite of all time. Eddie dying was the icing on the cake for Benoit. Yep, because Eddie was Benoit's like shoulder to cry on. Eddie was his person when he needed help. Absolutely. In a pro wrestling match, not an MMA fight. I mean, okay. Do you like Muay Thai? I mean, it's okay. I'm not crazy about, in particular, like kickboxing, just because I like seeing everything implemented in a fight, and we're not really seeing that in those one sections. Why UFC is not putting great main events this year, man? I'm sad. I'm not. I think the main events have been awesome. I'd say the only one that hasn't been great was Volkanovski, Diego Lopez 2, and Ankalaev Guskov. But that was short notice. It was supposed to be Roundtree, which 100% would have been better. So, yeah. Rip Eddie, too. Absolutely. UFC is not doing well when it comes to main events. I disagree. Not sure if you played SmackDown. Of course, I played SmackDown versus Raw. It was incredible. But they kind of predicted the two deaths of Benoit and Eddie. Yes, they did. Very weird. Very weird. Shiloh. Strickland Hamza was the best card of the year so far. I disagree. I think the White House card was absolutely incredible. Definitely best card of the year. I don't think Strickland card was that great, but it was a good card. Think. Oh, Ian can beat Islam? No, no. It was two cutscenes. Damn. Okay. Where do you think all these boxing fans get their ego from, especially the boxers they think can hang with MMA fighters? Well, it's because they watch them put a display of boxing and they're like, well, this guy's not a good boxer. They forget, they're just thinking about it in a boxing match. And that's not how that would work. Ian or Islam, who do I got? Islam. Rey Mysterio is 53 and still wrestling at a high level. Insane longevity. He's been injured a lot. Like his knees are not great. But yes. Yeah. Also, he's not doing it consistently anymore. He's doing it every now and then. No, it's not a I'm not disrespecting. I'm not critiquing him. I'm just saying. Um, yeah. Do you like Strickland fight style? I think it's yeah, I don't think it's that fun at all. 250 was a better card, but the Strickland card had better fights. Fair enough. I mean, Pereira and Gon and Justin and Taporia is better than anything on the Strickland card. Basically, two hot fights in the co-main main. Okay, fair enough. I just think those fights are so much better than any fight on the card of that Strickland fight on that card. But yeah, Gay Bearded, you're on my channel, so that makes sense. Ray is part timer now. He's not a full timer. Yep. Again, he deserves it. That's okay, but it's true. Hey, based on your opinion, do you think healthy for wrestlers to shave their okay? Okay, sure. Whatever you say. Again, 7 away from smacking 6,000 subs. 6. Still super impressive in my point. Oh yeah, Ray's knees have always been jacked up. You're correct about that. Yeah. Do you think Taporia can come back and why? Of course, I think he can come back. I don't want him to come back as quickly as he wants to come back. I get it. No, please. But I still think he's one of the best. That's why. Why did TKO do W it so bad now? Well, because they made it gravitate towards children. And you can't do the things that they should be able to do when kids are watching and celebrating. Can't do that. That is the craziest question I've ever seen. Correct, horse. The Vince documentary is worth a rewatch if you haven't already. I have not watched it just because I don't really care. He's not a good person, but he put on some great content. Congrats on the growth. I appreciate your trip. Thank you so much, buddy. Again, anybody who hasn't already, subscribe, like. We're almost at 20 likes. Super chats are always welcome. Become a member. It's pinned in the chat. What if Taporia loses again in this very violent KO? I mean, he needs to take a lot of time off then. What do you think? Who's best, Khabib or Hamzat? I would say Khabib is better than Hamzat. I don't think Hamzat's beaten anybody all that great. Um, but I also think Khabib's overrated. So they use ChatGPT for storylines and ignore fans. Well, that's just terrible. It's not good anymore. 10-7, what's up, buddy? Hope you're doing well. Again, if you guys don't know, it's 10-7 right here in the chat. Go subscribe to his channel. We are 6 away from smacking 6,000. Let's get this man to 3,000. I appreciate you. 10-7. Thank you so much, buddy. But, bro, why you don't read my comment about Portland? I definitely read your comment. You said, do you like Strickland fight style? I don't know what that is. I don't think it's good. I don't like his fight style. I literally answered that. Conor McGregor kind of deserved the knee injury. Oh, yeah, Matt. Oh, yeah. What's up, Torn? I went perfect this week. You goddamn right you did. Yes, you did. Oh, yep. Again, I put up a thing on my community. I've gone 50-13 on the last 5 events. It's pretty fucking good. Also, there's a lot of decisions I thought should have went the other way, but it's pretty good. The worst one I've done in the last 8 events is the White House card. But take that away, I've done 9-12, or I guess 9-3, 9-3, 10-2, 12-2. I've done really, really good these last few months. Your channel is way better than Joey. Appreciate you, Diego. The WWE gravitated away from kids in the late 2010s. WWE was at its best when Triple H was motivated as head creative and could operate without corporate interference. I disagree. I think it was better, way better in the early 2000s. I went perfect this past weekend. Hell yeah, Lenny. Good job. Or Lennon. Good job, buddy. 15-13, crazy. Yeah. CM Punk and Chris Benoit was supposed to have a match before it died. Yeah, I remember I was watching it as a kid. And I was like, oh, this is going to be incredible because at the end of CM Punk's match, Benoit comes out and they have a stare down. It was incredible. I was so excited. And then I tuned in that Monday, I believe it was, and he passed away. Or Friday, I can't remember now. Oh, it sucked. At its best in modern times. I stopped watching it in like 2013. There you go, Shiloh. Yep. Was an easy card this past weekend. Okay. I only missed two. Do you have Topology account? Yes, I do. MMA Now. Shiloh Time. Same here. Yep. I still have Prime Attitude Era pay per views on VHS. Hell yeah, Shiloh. Hell yeah. Chris Benoit didn't show up to the card. That's how they knew it was messed up. I don't think that's true. Don't think that's true. Hey, brother, wishing you nothing but the best, man. I appreciate you, Balderice. Appreciate you, buddy. Thank you so much. Again, 6 subs away from smacking 6,000. I'm gonna be live until it happens. Hopefully, it's a little bit sooner here. It's about almost 1:40 in the morning. Let's go. Loki, this next card ain't that bad. Others having much name value. I mean, name value can get you in a weird spot because this card is meant for finishes. That's what it's there for. That's what we're gonna get. Should. What's the inkst you've been at a UFC card result? Seeing Alex get slimed out by Gon had me tilted. Yeah, especially because I watched in real time him get elbows to the back of the head. Nothing happened. And I was pretty upset about that. Dan Hooker, yeah, that's gonna be a tough one, Mason. Do you think Eddie and Chris would be retired if they still were alive? Oh, 100%. I couldn't imagine being older and seeing Eddie. He was 38 when he passed away, so obviously he'd be 59 now. I'm so curious to see what his storytelling would have been as I got older, because his storytelling was incredible. His in ring performance incredible. Magomed drilling off. Ugh. Well, he called and he said he wasn't going to, and said his son was sick. Yeah, and then I think he called Chavo. There's a phone call about it. Chavo talked about it. Yeah, weird stuff. You're right. What do you think about King Green style? I mean, I don't recommend people fighting like that, but King Green, that's his style. He's been very successful. He's only started as he's gotten older to be a little bit more finished, but in fights, like the only fight where he was finished where he didn't do anything was the Ruffy fight, which unfortunately that's what was going to happen distance wise. Um, but like Dober fight, he's dominating. Then he gets caught. Um, yeah, Bobby Green's awesome. I can't believe in 2026 we have him on a 4-5 win streak. I love Bobby Green. Also, he's just an awesome dude. He's awesome. Yeah. Gone Goat. Chris would be 59 if he was still alive. Yep, same as Eddie. Odds wise, many close lines. Correct. Yep. Eddie would be 58 if he was alive. Yeah, he'd be turning 59 because he was born in 67. Herb Dean fucked Alex. Yes, he did. Ian versus Gary. I'd sub, but I already am. Appreciate you. I think Islam wins. I think it's a tough fight for him because of Gary's footwork, but I think Islam at some point gets a hold of him and beats him. Chris wouldn't have made it to 59 anyways. He snapped way back then. Yeah. I mean, his finishing move was dive off the fucking post head first. Unbelievable. Damian Maya got fucked versus Usman. Yes, he did, Mason. You're right. I used to think Aspinall smokes Gon, but now I think I'd pick Gon. Goddamn right, Jeb. Good job. Islam is going to choke Ian out. Correct, Lennon. Again, if you're not subscribed, subscribe. Appreciate you. Eddie B Day is October. Oh, gosh, Eddie. Malcolm Ed sucks. Yes, he does. Do you think Patty can beat Ilya? I think Ilya's too small and too short length for 55. No, because he would grapple. No, because he would grapple. And Patty does get hit. I don't think him being too short or too his length not being anything. I don't think that'd be a problem. Literally a life of concussions. You watch his best matches, and he's taken at least 2, 3 a match. Correct, Shiloh. And it's cool because um, you see like Paul Heyman talk about him, and it's hard to talk about him without talking about what he did. But in the ring performer, one of the best to ever do it, and he says that. That's incredible. It sucks. Obviously, what happened with Ian Gary and his brother? Well, Ian Gary lied about some shit, and his brother called him out on it. I don't know why people is always saying stupid things about Hamzat style is boring at all. Um, I mean, his DDP fight was boring, but I understand him controlling Dreykus and not giving him space and winning the title. I get it. It wasn't exciting though. I was on my edge of my seat the whole time because I thought Dreykus could create scrambles, but Hamzat doesn't fight like that. He fought Dreykus like that. And then rumor says Taporia is homosexual. I couldn't care less. Mysterio was my hero. He's awesome. 619, you're right. Taporia beats Gaethje and anyone in the welterweight division other than Michael Morales. Ooh, okay. Doubt that, but okay. Maybe. Am I crazy to say Bobby Green has one of the best custom shorts? Oh, his custom shorts are sick. Owen Hart's death still frightens me. To this day, he literally died on TV, smacked my head, and Vince McMahon talking about the show must go on despite a wrestler losing his life. Yeah, not good. Not crazy horse. What? Okay. Owen Hart would be 61 if he was still alive. He died in 1999. Yeah, yeah. I heard about it, of course, when I started watching it, but I didn't really see it. Bro, but look at how Justin was able to hurt him. Imagine if Patty touched. Are you kidding me? Justin has more power than Patty. It's not even a fair comparison. That's crazy. I had that pay per view on VHS. Ooh, okay. Low key, Pantoja's custom shorts are underrated. I like his custom shorts, yes. Hey, heard the Shia LaBeouf will be fighting the UFC. That'd be sick, but no, of course not. I was in my prime of WWE watching when Owen died. Ah, okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. I see. I'm not a big Undertaker guy, but I was a huge American Badass guy. I like Big Evil. I didn't care for the Undertaker thing. Do you like Mexican people or all your friends Americans? That's a ridiculous question. Over the Edge 99. Wow. Wow. America is a continent. What? Okay, we are over 21 likes. I appreciate you guys so much. W show would cancel the show after Owen died. 100%. I have Mexican American friends. Crazy. Bret Hart getting screwed in Montreal had me so upset, even though it never happened while I was alive. Yeah, see, I missed all the Bret Hart stuff. I liked him. I thought he was a little overrated, but I didn't really see him. So that's a bit of a hot take, but I didn't really see him. Was that a Bush Apple or a Pepsi? I don't drink Pepsi. Not an alcohol guy. I don't care if people do it. I'm not an alcohol guy. Pepsi. You think Van loses his belt soon? Yeah, I think he loses to Pantoja or Manel Cop. Yeah, this motherfucker is either 13 or 16 stupid year old wording the question like that. It is even worse because of the terms they were on with Brett when Owen died. Oh, yeah, you're right about that. Shawn Michaels. Yep. I'm a bigger Shawn Michaels guy than Brett. I know he wasn't a nice guy early in his career. I just, for one, probably one of the best intros of all time. Weed guy then? Making Owen do the goofy gimmicks? Yeah. Is that the probiotic Pepsi? No, it's a wild cherry and cream Pepsi. Taporia will have his own brand of root beer. Alcohol is a silent killer. Okay. At least Bret Hart knocked out Vince. That's true. That's true. I think Ilya is a little bit small for Patty and is going to get the win. Okay. I disagree 1,000%. I don't think him being small has anything to do with it. Remember the crime time? Yep. And Shaq died. Shaq Thompson. I think it was Shaq Thompson. No, Shaq Gaspar. I'm sorry. Shaq Thompson's a football player, linebacker for the Panthers. But yeah, Shaq Tom, Gaspar, Gatsby, something like that. Yeah, he drowned saving his son. R.I.P. They have a probiotic Pepsi, I guess. That's the first time I've heard of it. Bro, Taporia kills Patty. Yeah, they do now. Yes. Wow, that's crazy. 10. That's crazy. I don't like alcohol, but I smoke. You can smoke whatever you want. That at least. Yeah. I'm not. I'm not a big alcohol guy. Do you know if zero sugar sprites are good for people that are trying to lose weight? So I hate water. I'm like, I mean, I would just drink water, honestly. AEW had a lot of sad things happen. None of them bad as Benoit's situation. You're right about that. You're wrong about every opinion you've shared, regardless of sports thus far. I don't know. You know that. Explain. You don't like Patty? I like Patty a lot. I think he would get absolutely mauled by Patty, by Ilya. What's up, Michael? What's up, buddy? Do you like NASCAR? They were in Indy today. I'm not a big NASCAR guy. I went to an Indy 500 when I was younger with my dad. That was pretty cool, but I've never really been into it. Really haven't. Was crazy. I think Kyle Busch, I can't remember his name now, passed away at his home. Unbelievable. No, it wasn't Kyle Busch. I can't remember his name now. How the fuck did Heim win ball? I didn't watch. What are you talking about, Shiloh? Do you think Eddie would have been retired from WWE in 2011? 44 years old? Probably. Jeremy, when I lost 100 pounds, I drank zero sugar soda, but I kept it to two max. You lost 100 pounds, 10-7? Good job, dude. Bravo. That's fucking awesome, man. Good job. Have a blessed day. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you, Jeremy. Smack that subscribe button if you haven't already. I think Patty can even submit Ilya in the first round as he did with Benoit. I 100% disagree with you. You having a good day? It's been all right, man. Gained it back, brother. That's okay. That's all right. Now you still, whenever the day comes and you want to lose it, you know how to do it. Yes, Kyle Busch was a great driver. Died like 2 months ago. Oh, okay. So I did call it right. Okay, yeah. Tore my Achilles and got instantly fat again. Tore your Achilles doing what? You playing basketball like Jamal Hill? What the fuck? Kyle Busch started puking blood in Racing Simulator before getting sent to the hospital. Unbelievable. Sepsis? Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's crazy. I don't think he was like 40 or something. Unbelievable. My listening is great. I can understand everything you say, but it's still hard to speak English fast. I've never been in a real English class or lesson. You're doing pretty good. Literally, yes, basketball like Jamal. Oh my gosh. Wow. Uh damn, dude. That fucking sucks. Hopefully it's not still like lingery or whatever. Some people say Chris Benoit death wasn't sad. That's crazy to me. That's crazy. Because if you were a fan at all in the early 2000s, that shit was sad. Especially after like the WrestleMania with Eddie and Chris hugging because they were actually boys. Ugh, it gutted me when I was a kid. Just all of what you've been talking about is simply incorrect. When you're talking about the last topic, wrong. You've been lying to people about sports. You padded the stats and fudged the numbers. Okay, Dr. Elbow Deep. I feel like you need to go elbow deep in something else. What do you think about Hill's shape? He looks like garbage. He still had another 2, 3 wins in him, too. Fair. Yeah. Some people felt no sympathy for Chris Benoit. That's so crazy. Hope you had a good stream. I'm going to go because I have comfort. Okay. Which Walmart did you grab those photos and frames? It definitely wasn't Walmart, but okay. It's lingerie as fuck. Still can't run. Yeah. I'm sorry to hear that. That sucks, especially because it's something you kind of need. Damn, dude. Speaking of Hill, he's crashing out about people talking about his weight. He definitely hasn't built into being a heavyweight with muscle. No, he looks like garbage. Ugh. The reason they say his death wasn't sad because he killed his family himself. I mean, the problem and the reason why it's sad is because it was a man that was destroyed. His body was done. His brain was gone. And it's the effects of that. That's the reality. What he did was awful, but everyone that knew Chris, if Chris was in his right state of mind, he wouldn't have done that. He wasn't in the right state of mind. So, did you see all the AI shit about Hulk Hogan and his hate about black people? I mean, it was true. He had done a bunch of tweets and stuff about black people. Yeah, that one felt weird to me when he passed away because it's Hulk Hogan. Yeah, that was weird. Yeah, it's disgusting, Michael. You say it, you're going to be banned from my channel. People would have felt all the sympathy in the world if he didn't kill his family. Yeah, Shiloh. Yeah, yeah. Jamal Hill is a heifer. I don't know what that means, but he's a big, big boy. There's a conspiracy theories that say he didn't do it. Someone else came in and did it to all of them. That's crazy. I want to believe that because I grew up with watching Benoit and stuff, but it's such a hard hard thing to come around. There was a video a little while ago on YouTube that did a deep dive in that, and he even thought he didn't know if this had happened the way they said. Hill has no good mental health. He's yelling for help. Look at his body, man. Terrible. Hill is on depression. Benoit wasn't in his right mind when he's emotional. When you're emotional, you can't think rational. That's true. Wait, were you talking to me? Could you imagine 107? No. No. Yes, I was talking to you, Michael. The whole time, that's the real truth. Wow. Ooh, goodness. Ow. Mm. I'm doing a series. Thank you, 10-7, for the gold coin. I appreciate you, buddy. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm doing a series for my channel. Turning any drink into a slushy. Give me an idea. Any drink into a slushy. Ooh. Um. Oh. Goodness. Don't think root. I don't think you should do root beer because that's too bit of a easy one, really. Um. It's turning a drink into a slushy. Gosh. I don't want to say a freaking like a smoothie because again, that's too easy. Um, gosh, I can't think of anything. Uh, um, a coffee. I would say some sort of coffee. Have a good stream. Appreciate you. I know that video you're talking about, the Benoit situation. They did like 3 or 4 part series. Yep. Cosmic Snow Cone Smirnoff. There you go. I think the video was called Chris Benoit was framed. Ooh, okay, that I think that was it, Torin. Oh, root beer float slushy with ice cream on top. Oh, that's sick. 10-7. Who should Hill even fight at heavyweight? Marcin Tybura. What is your birthday? Uh, September. Of course I remember Vicky. Of course I remember Vicky Guerrero. She was huge after Eddie passed. She was quite annoying after Eddie passed. But my birthday is September. What, Shiloh? Vicky was a good looking woman. I disagree. I disagree. But teach their own. She looked like a teacher I had when I was in high school. She was not a good looking woman. So that was, oh yeah, yeah, Shiloh, I'm sorry. You said that and it's exactly what it was. Excuse me. Oh god, I hate it. Remember the Nexus? No. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Yep, that was the line. Yep. Oh my gosh. So many good ones though. Like when Edge gets caught cheating when they were gonna get married with the someone one of the girls in the wedding, I can't remember. Came in his dressing room and he's like making out with her and shit. Oh my gosh. Ugh. Anybody remember when freaking Kane had or Lita and Kane were together and Lita was pregnant? And then they had the whole storyline that Snitsky has, gets her to have a freaking miscarriage. Yeah, because he bumps into her or whatever. What a wild storyline. SmackDown or Raw. When I was a kid, I was definitely SmackDown. When I was a little bit older, I was Raw for sure. Today's WWE's complete ass. Yeah. I think natural progression and young people start with WWE and then progress to MMA naturally. Yep. That's what happened to me. For sure, horse. Yeah. SummerSlam was great. Suzuki was a menace, but it wasn't his fault. You're goddamn right, ball. Do you remember the four bigs? Four bigs? No. Do you remember when Triple H dressed up as Kane and the mannequin? Yes. That's the part I was just thinking about in my head because I think they were showing it. I showed my wife. I was like, look at this fucking storyline. This is crazy. Yep. Yep. I remember that. Yep. And then I remember there's another one where Snitsky took out a fake baby and kicked it into the crowd and it was like crying and stuff. It's like, what is going on? Oh my goodness. It's a few WWE stars who die by suicide. Sean O'Hara comes to mind. Yeah. Yeah. I remember that. Wrestling SummerSlam, Royal Rumble. What the other one? Um, oh, Armageddon, Hell in a Cell. Taboo Tuesday, I really liked as a kid. I was a big Shelton Benjamin guy when I was growing up. Big Shelton Benjamin guy. Yeah, way too many touring. The big four events. Yeah, SummerSlam, Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, Armageddon. I can't remember now. Had a Great American Bash. I can't remember. May Young giving birth to Hand. Yeah. You remember when freaking, I think Bubba power bombed her off the stage into a table? That was like a 70-year-old woman at that point. Like, man, I can't remember the four ones. Yeah, SummerSlam for sure. Royal Rumble. Obviously, we're not talking about WrestleMania because that'd be too easy. So I can't remember now. Hell yeah, the Dudleys were sick. Yeah, yep. One of the craziest chants I've ever seen in my life, 10-7, is when the Dudleys came back when they finally returned, like mid 2010s. And he does like Devon, and then he does 1, 2, 3, and the crowd says, "Get the table." So sick. It's so sick. Oh, gosh. I was a TNA guy too for a little while there, like the early, like probably 2007, like with Samoa Joe, Christopher Daniels, AJ Styles, Motor City Machine Guns, the beer. I can't remember their name now. It was James Storm and mm, I don't remember his name now. Even Shark Boy at the time, Abyss, Jeff Jarrett. That TNA roster was stacked. Loved it. JR and Lawler were the best duo. Oh, 100% Shiloh. 100% yes. Beer Money. There it is, Torrent. Beer Money. APA, Farouk, and Bradshaw. Yep. It's crazy because, like, I was a big Farouk and Bradshaw guy. I did not like Bradshaw when he went by himself, the whole, like, John Cena thing. And there for a while after that. As I've gone back and watched as an adult, brilliant. And then like his love for Eddie, I still love it. It makes me like Bradshaw, if any, even more. But yeah, oh gosh, yeah. Survivor Series, Jaja. I have to share it in the net. Okay, main event Mafia. Yep, there's another one. Remember when Lawler had a heart attack live on air? Yep, yep. JBL as an adult, exactly. He was perfect heel, great career progression, 100%. And then the crazy part is like where it started really was they were in El Paso and their JBL's wrestling. I believe no, he comes out when Eddie's having like Mexican Day for his dad. Remember his dad and his mom are there, and JBL comes out, and then Eddie's mom has a fake heart attack, and Eddie tells JBL, "You better get the hell out of here." But it was all Eddie who told him to do all this and where to go, where to be. Unbelievable, man. So good. All right, signing off for the night. Appreciate you, buddy. WrestleMania Royal Rumble, Survivor Series, and SummerSlam. There it is. Oh, I was right on the WrestleMania then. Okay. Yep, Survivor Series. Yeah, I watched that one live ball. Hell yeah. Bradshaw looked so different at APA when he had the long black hair. Yep, unrecognizable when he became JBL. 100%. JBL was a menace. Yes, he was. Yes, he was. I hated him as a kid. Enjoy the rest of the night. I appreciate your horse. Do you have any surveillance cameras? Nope. Went to WrestleMania 22. Ooh, that's sick. That is sick. Ooh. Your organs healthy? Oh yeah. Yeah, 10-7. Yeah. Had so many fun. Like I remember watching. I got it because I used to have my grandparents tape the wrestling shows, and I would go pick up the tapes and never return them. Of course, as a kid, you're stupid, and never got more. But I remember watching when Batista made his decision to go to Raw or SmackDown, challenge for a title, and he power bombs Triple H into the table. One of the best segments I've ever seen. Incredible. What time do you usually go to bed? Not for a while. Who wrestled at 22? Is that um, Batista and Triple H? Oh yeah, RVD. That was that one. Oh, Rey Mysterio wins the world title. That's after Eddie. Shawn Michaels, McMahon, Triple H, John Cena. Yep, that's what it was. Shoot, I can't remember if I posted this to the channel for the community. Do you like animated Dragon Ball Z? I'm not a big Dragon Ball Z guy. Nope, not a deep sleeper at all. Remember Zach Gowen, the one-legged guy Brock Lesnar destroyed? Yeah, unbelievable. I used to have a little illegal black box pay-per-views best times. Hell yeah, 10-7. Oh yeah. I was a big Batista fan, and I don't know why. I was a big Batista fan too. Main event Cena Triple H. Yep, yep. Zamir just did Triple H not fit on SmackDown? Of course, because he built his entire brand on Raw, and then he went to SmackDown. I was like, what is this? He was still good, but it didn't feel the same because his entire career, like that whole like evolution, the title reigns with Randy Orton, all that stuff, everything was done on Raw. So of course it felt weird going over there. Kane didn't fit on SmackDown either. I remember a lot of him on SmackDown, but you're right. He definitely felt more of a Raw guy. Triple H's pedigree was nasty back in the day, 90s and early 2000s. Oh, yeah, like the one he gave to RVD when his head bounced off the freaking mat. Unbelievable. John Cena was the man I hate. I love John Cena. Just like Rey Mysterio didn't fit on Raw. Agreed. Ray was 100% a SmackDown guy. Yeah, I like John, but he's not one of my favorites. I actually like Randy more than Cena. So probably the best finisher of all time is Randy. When I got to high school is when I stopped watching because SmackDown was on Fridays and that's when we had our football games. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Booker T didn't fit on SmackDown either. I remember him more on SmackDown than Raw. So to me, that's exactly where he fit on was SmackDown. Remember when Kurt Angle tried to throw Shane Max? I remember when he threw Shane through the plexiglass when they had their awesome matches. Remember, yeah, I got a little back into it for a few years as an adult. Exactly. Yeah, yeah. Ugh. Kurt Angle didn't fit on Raw. I loved him when he was wrestling like Cena on Raw, but I liked him a lot better on SmackDown. I just thought he could be his own. Like he didn't have he. I thought he was better on SmackDown. JBL. Remember when Kurt Angle threw Shane through the glass? Oh yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. And it didn't break. He landed on his neck. Ouch. Yep. Because then I think he picks him up again, and he didn't want to. I believe Shane told him do it again, and he threw Shane through the glass. I think it was the same one. I liked it more brand split. Um, I don't know if I remember it exactly before it was split. I don't think I remember it. Do you like The Rock? Of course I like The Rock. Some of the most charisma of all time. Talk about his movies I've already won. As a wrestler, some of the most charisma I've ever seen. Rob Van Dam didn't fit on SmackDown either. I remember him the most on SmackDown. The Rock is a bad wrestler. I 1,000% disagree. Who's my Mount Rushmore of wrestlers? Shawn Michaels, Triple H, Kurt Angle, Randy Orton, John Cena. It's Stone Cold is 6. Undertaker is 7. I love Stone Cold. It just, yeah. Why Muslim fighters are the best in MMA? I don't think Muslim exactly. I just think certain fighters in certain countries, all they have to focus on is fighting. That's their way out. So I think that's why they become a little bit better. I love Kurt Angle. Yeah. Yeah. He was even good in TNA. So, oh. Mick Foley was my goat. Mick Foley's awesome. Love Mick Foley. What do you think about? I don't even know what that is. Kurt Angle and TNA run was better than his WWE run, in my opinion. Uh, I respectfully disagree, only because I don't think TNA had the superstars that WWE did. So his run was like he was doing good stuff and probably had some of his best work. But I think the WWE stuff is a little bit more notable. Like his feud with Cena is incredible. Um, There's moments where in his WWE run where he was awesome, but TNA, I just think he was the biggest star. So it just maybe overall was longer. It's kind of like the Christian thing, I think. Don't redeem Sar. What? Kurt wasn't in the WWE that long. I think he was in there a while, for sure. Torn. Hey brother, found Shoke. And his run was much longer in TNA. Really, really. Oh, he was in TNA for 11 years. 11. See, I remember him so much in WWE. I thought it was much longer than that because he had hair and everything. He was only there for 7 years. That's crazy. Early TNA, Kurt was awesome. He was on crazy amount of stuff later in his career. He was incredible. You don't know the allegations, bro. Vince is I know the allegations. I just don't understand what you were saying. Of course, I know the allegations. Yeah. Yep. Ted DiBiase. Yep. Yep. Remember Perk Angle? Yep, that's exactly what I was talking about. Yep. And he was wrestling all the time back then too. Look at him. His body is fucked. Actually fucked. Time this guy out, felt the authority. Absolutely. Appreciate your 10-7. Ted DiBiase and Cody Rhodes was a great tag team. Oh, when he was like, yeah, yeah, yeah. It was really cool watching Cody come back because like uh he always didn't feel like Dusty Rhodes kid. Like he felt like under the shadow. And then when he came back, it was like, okay, he's figured it out. He's gotten it down. He's figured it out. He knows how to market himself. And it was really cool seeing that, especially the crowd reaction. It was cool. Remember, Legacy, yep, Legacy, yep. Till what WrestleMania you was a fan? I mean, I don't know exactly. I stopped watching, around the PG era stuff. I don't know exactly when it was. I kind of just fell out of it. Around 2013, 2014. Perk Angle looked different. His face changed a lot. Sometimes I wonder, was that a clone of something? That's all the drugs, man. Was that really even him? Oh, it was him. It was just a lot of drugs. Me and DS went to a AEW like 2 years ago. Got to see Punk and Hardy's Jeff Jarrett. That's sick. That's so sick. I'm a big CM Punk guy. I like him a lot. Hardy's cool. I actually prefer. I love Jeff. He's awesome. I have a soft place in my heart for Jeff for some reason. Like the storyline with him and Edge, is just cinema to me because it was real, obviously. But yeah, Jeff Jarrett to me is not WWE. He is TNA. That his theme song is better in TNA. I know he started using it a little bit in AEW, but yeah, PG era was the beginning of the end. Yeah, I kind of fell out of it when Mick Foley. I love Mick, but when Mick Foley was like a general manager, that era is when I kind of started falling out of it. Jeff Hardy was my favorite man. His style, like his style a lot. Yep, yep. I like Chris Jericho better in WWE. I appreciate what he's been able to do at his age in AEW, but I wish he would go back to WWE. Jeff Jarrett started off in WWE. He was around during the Attitude Era. Yes. I just think his best work is in TNA. Man, when I got back into wrestling, my favorite new guy was Bray Wyatt. Oh, 10-7. My favorite genre of movies is horror movies. I'm a big horror movie guy. And I had started to see a little bit of the sketches in the like videos and the compilations and stuff he was putting together. And I was like, this dude's awesome. And then when he came out to the ring and he thanked everybody for being around him, sticking, what's the word? Not leaving his side during his hardship. And it was like, oh, this guy's gonna be awesome. And then he passed away. It's such a shame, man. The feed character was the best thing I had seen in years. Devastated when he passed. Yeah. Again, it's another thing for me, like the Hulk Hogan thing. Like I know the guy was old, like he was gonna pass at some point, but when he did, it was like, is this real? And then Bray passed. He was young, It was like what? It was crazy to me. A lot of people don't know Jeff Jarrett founded TNA. That's his company. He's the CEO. Well, That's awesome. And he took Kurt's wife. You remember he was reading Hidden Journal Order in the PC. I have no idea what you're talking about, Diego. Slamming my boy Navajo. Low slocks. You 100% know I'm picking Navajo to win that. Against slow ass Jan. Yeah. Yo, Mohammed, what's up, buddy? Good to see you again. So, again, if you guys want to become a member for as low as $2.99, right down there in the thing, smack that like button. We are six subscribers away from smacking 6,000. Gonna bet Medic, but not sure how much yet. I would bet the fight ends by knockout, personally. I think Medic wins, but to cover your bases, the fight ends by knockout. That fight's incredible. When there was no general manager, okay. Also going to take sprinkles on Rebecca, maybe even Ludovic. I like both those guys to win, especially Rebecca. So that was real when Jeff took Kurt Angle's wife. It was scripted. Oh, it was real. Like that's who he's married to now. Like that's who he walks out with is Kurt's wife, who was also on TNA with him. Let's talk about MMA. We're talking about it. If Islam runs through Gary, is he the GOAT? No. I think he needs a little bit more defenses. I think there's an argument for it, but the GOAT for me is going to be very hard to pass is John Jones. Like you can get in the conversation, but for me, it's longevity. It's not just who you're beating, like a couple, it's longevity. Like he would have to beat like Gary, Prates, Morales, who else is in that division. I mean, if he starts beating those guys, then we have a conversation. But I don't think he's ever passes John Jones. He could go to, number 4. I don't know if he might pass Mighty Mouse because of the margin for error, but I don't think he would ever pass GSP or John Jones. Top 5 locks of Belgrade is Oliveira, Navajo, Medic, Rebecca, Klein. I agree with you. I don't know if Klein is a lock because he's fighting Tafik Masarev or something. I don't know if he's a lock, but I have Klein, Rebecca, Medic, Navajo, and Oliveira winning. Someone told me today I'm an idiot for picking over Oben Elliott. Crazy. I know Kurt and Jeff don't like each other to this day. That's why. I don't think Slam has more chances to become the GOAT over Ilya's chances. Okay. Okay. Ilya is closer to the GOAT status than Islam by far. How? That's not even close to true. For one, Ilya hasn't lost recently. He hasn't lost his title. Ilya just did. What do you? Okay. What's up? First tone. What's up? Fistone. Okay. Boat has one loss. Yeah, but Ilya just lost his title. Islam has not lost his title. Is this the low IQ? Sure. Are they really not going to put a big fight on 330? That's crazy. I think 330 is incredible. I don't need another big fight. I think that card's incredible. The only fight I didn't want to watch was the Jasper fight, and they got it off. So that card's awesome. Islam loses by KO. Ian Gary hasn't KO'd anybody in a long time. Man, F. Jones, steroids, and ducked heavyweight resume slightly overrated too outside of DC. And Gus? Okay. I don't give a fuck about steroids. I mean, there's been a lot of guys that have taken steroids and they're not even on the same level of John Jones. So I think the 16 title defenses of John Jones says everything you need to say. This card's fun, but you can't say the main card shouldn't have another big fight on it. I mean, you can always add big fights on stuff, but doesn't need it? To me, no. Because that card's going to be finishes besides the co-main. Maybe the main event's a finish, but the fights underneath, those are going to be finish fights. What's the worst card you remember, or these never bad cards to you? Oh, there's definitely bad cards. Definitely. I think like the Holly Holm, ooh, Bruna Silva. There was a couple cards there were terrible. Terrible. Or that, at least that main event was awful. Oh my gosh. Holly Holm. Fighters. Holly Holm. Teammate was just juiced. I don't care. I do not care. I knew he was gonna knock the fuck out of Usyk, and he did. I don't care. There's been like we've seen Walt Harris test positive twice. He was an awful fighter. I know the tragedy. It very sucks. I hate it so much what happened, but he was not a good fighter. Um, Orbai lock of the card. I don't know if Orbai. I mean, oh yeah, Orbai's lock. Yeah, and guys were juiced on the Baku card. No one saying anything. Yeah. Tom Nolan got ragdolled by a guy. Thank you so much for the what's that called? I can't think of what it's called. But thank you so much. Appreciate you. Ragdolled by a guy juiced to the gills. Tom Nolan. He just ragdolled Faraz Zion. What are you talking about? I'm confused. Tom Nolan. You're talking about Eric Nolan. Tom Nolan is the guy that fought for Zion. Is that guy juiced? Again, being juiced doesn't mean you are gonna win a bunch of fights. It just doesn't. But yeah, like the Bruno Silva card was terrible. I think Yana Santos main event was awful. That's not a main event either, thankfully. Oh, Caitlin Vieira. That's a main event. This card is awful. 2022 Michelle Pereira, Ponzinibbio, Chitty, Dusku. That fight was awesome. Richie, Viana, Jung Young Park, Eric Anders, split decision. Holmes, Allen, doesn't even matter. Jalton Almeida, Parker Porter, doesn't matter. Euros Medic, Omar Morales, that was a good fight. But what? Three good fights? Chase Hooper, Felipe Corrales, Euros Medic, Omar Morales. Uh, Chitty and Jaquani knockout against Dusku. Terrible card. Doesn't matter. You a cheater. You Albury Bonds not in the Hall of Fame. Just saying that's in the Hall of Fame because baseball's weird. I don't give a fuck if they're in the Hall of Fame or not. It doesn't matter. They still are. How long have you been? Okay. This weekend card, for example, is terrible. Is horrible. Okay, don't watch it then. I agree though. 3:30 main card is super weak. Decent prelims. I see. I don't see that it's a weak main card. I don't see how this main card is weak. I don't see it. Like, I don't really care for women's MMA, but again, I'm excited for this one because it's a very, very fun stylistical matchup. Edson Barboza Reba Fix is awesome. Vicente Luque. Oh wait, we don't have main card yet. So I would assume we're probably getting. Yeah, we don't even have main card yet. So yes, there's gonna be fights added on. There's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's only two fucking main card fights. So I would assume it's gonna be Islam, McKenzie, Edson Barboza, Rivavix probably open up or headline the prelims. Vicente Luque Gores on the prelims. Yeah, there's definitely going to be added. I didn't know they only had two fights on the main card. Obviously, there's going to be more. Obviously. So that's my bad. Same, I had him first round KO. Yep. Arm Truth came from TNA. Yep. How long have you been? You just keep asking. I don't like early cards because I wake up too late and the card's almost over. There you go. I went 11 for 12 on the card yesterday. Yep. I missed it by two as well. I went 10 and 2. I missed two of them. A lot of WWE stars were on TNA, even Booker T. Well, Booker T was in, yeah, yeah. He wasn't in there first, but yes, he did go over there. So again, Christian became huge in TNA, went back to WWE, and then was appreciated. Was juiced. I probably mixed names. Hasanov. I don't remember who that is. Have you ever thought of Korean Zombie videos seeing? Huh? I like Korean Zombie. Do you think Result Hazuchi can be champion? No. Had Ink by KO, Tirmov first round KO, Chunk Volter first round sub. Oh, Chunk Volter first round sub. Patterson KO, Charlie Hassan. Yeah, Ankalaev is absolute dog shit. I don't give a fuck that Guskov wasn't doing anything. Every opening possible was there for Ankalaev. He also never cut off Guskov. He never cut him off. He just followed him for 3 rounds and then took him down. Yeah, I hate Ankalaev's fights. No, he's not in the Hall of Fame because he cheated. I don't like cheaters. Okay. Okay. You don't like hitting 50 home runs a season? I mean, okay. Also, they play a shitload of games. There's no way you would, for one, you'd get better quality from the players if they were able to take stuff that would heal their body. I'm for that. It's not about don't watch the fights or bad cards. It's about call it out and ask for better cards when we are fans. I agree with you. I don't think necessarily again this I get what you're saying because there's only two main card fights. That makes sense. I didn't realize that. But like Edson Barboza Rebovix is incredible. Luke Gore incredible. Malik Dustin Stoll 2 could be a lot of fun. Wells Orbai could be a lot of fun. We do need more fights because there's only two main card fights. Now I'll tell you this. If they put like let's see shit, if they put Malik and Stoltzfu, if they put Magny, if they put Lucas Fernando and Rafael Tobias, or Dante Johnson and Mecanico on the main card, I would tell you guys that's an awful main card. I think the fights could be better than what it's showing, which I do, but that would be a terrible lineup on a main card. I agree. Mansoor and Stoltzfu is currently slotted as a featured fight for now. That would be trash. Um, Featured fight is like the main event of the prelims because I agree with you. The main event of the prelims should either be Charles Johnson, Jose Acho, Jalen Turner, Kai Fernandez is an incredible fight. It just is. Jeff Neal, Chitty could be a main event of the prelims. Um, Shit, I mean, you could do Barboza, Rebovix, Luque, Gore, one of those main event prelims. I agree with you. Malik and Stoltzu should not be the main event of the prelims. Just shouldn't be. There is 12 fights scheduled for 330. The most likely two max, but probably just one. Morales, Prates. They gotta add. Who else do you gonna put on the main card? Unless you do like Islam McKenzie, Edson, Vicente, and then you could do um, Jeff Neal, Chitty, Jalen Turner, Kai Fernandez as main card. That's incredible to me. That's incredible. I hate TNA didn't let the WWE stars use the original theme from WWE. Again, I thought AJ Styles' theme in TNA was better than in WWE. I like that. Jeff Jarrett, same thing. Um, Samoa Joe, same thing. Some of them I thought were better. They already have two. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. They wouldn't. They would add two absolute max. Most likely add one. How would you structure it, assuming the big fight is added? See, there you go. I said it. Think okay. And Joel Romero and Robert Whitaker fought. What was your pick? Yoel Romero. Like I thought he won the second fight clearly. Like Kurt Angle didn't use his sick theme in TNA. You suck theme. Yeah, I thought his TNA theme was awesome. I liked it a lot. D Rod is whack as fuck. I like it a lot. Jan deserves the main event. No, he doesn't. He sucks. He's 43 years old. He doesn't suck. I don't mean that. He's slow. He's not very exciting. They're trying to put on exciting fights. It's exciting only if Navajo Sterling makes it exciting. You can't put Jan as a main event. D Rod Medic, it's not going to last 5 rounds. That's an exciting main event. Feature fight of the fight is the fight before the co-main event. Ooh, that's an awful featured fight. 10-7. I agree with you. If that's how they match it up and schedule it, awful. I agree. Do you think Francisco Prado can do well at welterweight? I don't know. I keep picking the guy and he keeps losing. I've seen him fight a couple times. He looked really good and he's looked bad. I don't know. To be honest, Medic is Serbian. That's why he's main event. Now that makes sense. Samoa Joe had badges. Fair enough. Samoa Joe had a badass theme. It was like Godzilla like or something. Correct. Again, same with Abyss. Abyss, incredible theme. Incredible. Prado, yeah. Yeah. I think Yan won a fight against Ankalaev. The UFC make him dirty with a draw. Nope. I thought Ankalaev beat Yan. I thought he won 3 rounds. Um, yeah. That fight again, not that fun to watch. What is the best part of being a? I don't even know what that is. TNA Star had basic themes. W themes were more better. Again, I thought TNA's was better. I thought AJ Styles TNA thing was much better. I thought Samoa Joe's was better. I thought Oh, our Truths was better. I thought Abysses was better. I thought Christians was better. Um, yeah, I thought there was a lot of better. Damn, ice cold cherry Pepsi sounds great right now. You goddamn right, Los. Sorry for my broken English. No, you're good. No, no, no big deal. No big deal. Yeah, 10-7. I didn't know that's how it showed up. I doubt that's what it stays. I doubt it. That's how it stays. Yeah, Los, we definitely have to do a video this week. Definitely. 100% have to do a collab. Again, and I really like the Serbia card too. I like it a lot. What do you think about USADA 11 UFC? I don't what? Who should I put most money on all the fight announced fights? Yasori Belgori fighting Kelvin Gastelum. That's who you should put your most money on. I like Kelvin. I hope Kelvin wins. I want Kelvin to do everything. It's not Kelvin Gastelum anymore. He's not what he used to be back in the day when he was undefeated. Yeah. Live in UFC. Live in UFC. I don't know what you mean. Oh, going out? They're gonna find something else. It's just not gonna be gone. I wish it would be gone. I think fighters would be better. Best fight you ever saw? Oh, probably Izzy versus Gastelum is excitement for sure. I'd say most technical fight I've ever seen, Izzy Pereira. Any Izzy Pereira fight, they're so technical. Yeah. And then obviously there's other ones like Carlos Condit, Robbie Lawler, incredible fight. Carlos Condit, Johnny Hendricks, awesome fight. Yeah, there's some good ones. Oh, Roger Huerta versus Clay Guida, that's an incredible fight as well. Luis Felipe Diaz is the real deal. Luis Felipe Diaz. Oops. Luis Diaz. Why? Oh, I wouldn't say he's the real deal per se. I didn't think he looked great in his debut match. Oh wait, okay, I'm thinking of somebody else. My bad. Yes, he looked really good against a guy that's not so great. For sure, but yeah, he looked. I wouldn't say necessarily he's the real deal, just because we don't really know that. But he looks good. Looks promising. What do you think about Kamaru Usman's brother? He was on Juicy. Yeah, he sucked. Dang, long life today. Goddamn right, LW. I wish Pereira beat Gon. Me too. Me too. I'm gonna take my ass to sleep now. Good night, guys. Appreciate you, Torn. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Let's see where we are at. Oh, we are 5 away from 6,000. I think Usman is on Juicy. Okay, maybe. Oh, he got sick. LW. Probably weight cutting stuff. Yeah. 5 subscribers away. So I appreciate you guys. I would definitely do another stream. We've gone really long. I have a burner account. I'll go sub on to get you closer. I appreciate you so much. Again, if you have that, make sure you are watching the content because that's the only way that truly helps. Just click the playlists, let it watch. You don't necessarily have to worry about liking the video. It helps for sure, but watch it, comment or whatever, but I appreciate you. We will do this again. What fight are you most hyped for Saturday? Metis Rodriguez. I just think there's no chance it's going to be boring. Michael Oliveira, I'm very excited to watch him fight in the UFC, of course. Um, Trying to name it off without looking, but I'm going to look now since I've named a few. Excited for, yeah, Medic for sure. I'm excited for Ludovic Klein to fight Uh, Rebecca's always awesome to watch fight. Did I pick the fucking wrong? Is Michael Oliveira not? Okay, well, I guess, yeah, Euros Medic is what I'm most excited for. 10 a.m. start. Yes, sir. This week's card sucks. You keep saying that. It's awesome. Before you go, do you think once he develops the dude that beat Ursay this weekend can be a title challenger in the future? 100% it could. That speed is going to hurt a lot of people. I'm tired of this shit, man. Okay. And do you think Fatima Klein can get the belt? Yes, I think she will become a champion. D Rod sucks. He's 20-5. And I wouldn't say he sucks. Also, at his age. Also, he went through a few losses there. I believe 3 in a row. And then he just found his stride again. Yep. Beat the Leech. I didn't think he won that fight, but lost to Magny in the fight he was winning. Got destroyed by Ian Gary. Lost to Calvin Gastelum. And then beat Alex Morono by split. Destroyed Santiago Ponzinibbio, which of course. And then beat Kevin Holland in a back and forth awesome matchup. I don't think he sucks. Clearly. He's pretty damn good. Larian Douglas is awesome. D Rod is a great brawler. Yep, excited to see Steve Asplin fight. He's exciting. He is fun. Do you like Wonderboy Thompson? Of course. Who doesn't like Wonderboy Thompson? He's awesome. But I appreciate you. I will be back on tomorrow. Thank you guys so much. And as always, go subscribe to 10-7. I appreciate you guys so much. Petrino beats Spivak. He fucking better. I appreciate you, Los. We're going to do a collab this week. I appreciate you. Stay safe. See you at the next one.